We got 2 podcasts and a large assortment of morons. What could go wrong? Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, the Wolf of Wakefield, and joining me today, the man whom predicted the rise and fall of cryptocurrency by completely ignoring any of it. It's Stig.
Probably worse off for it. Hello.
Also, a woman with such high standards in her art, her work, but definitely not her hygiene. It's Candy.
It is true. I am a stinky gremlin.
Yep. And the man that held Newcastle hostage at gunpoint this weekend, it's Gadget.
Greg's ran out of steak bakes. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. And you'd be like, isn't there another voice? No. Captain Sick Note, he's at it again. He's off. Biggie is not here today.
He's really abusing our HR policies.
Fuck off. Got sniffles. Get on the pod.
Got the shits.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But how is everyone?
Well, I'm clearly better than you are, Oodles. You look like a Tim Burton picture.
Talk amongst yourselves. Don't involve me in any of this.
Can we get the old timey music out and have a recounting of Oodles' night out? Or is it one of those where you start with a drink in your hand, then it's seen missing, and then you fall through the door at 7 a.m?
What happens in the working men's stays in the working men's.
It went in the working men's, but I don't joke when I say it looked like a Motley Crue video by end of night.
Like a 2024 one.
No girls, baby.
Just doddering about.
Old washed up rockers. That's what it was.
Basically. Arguing about which is better, Imperial Stout or Irish Stout.
Oh, rock and roll.
No. And by arguing, we mean drinking them all, just to double check.
For science.
Oh, fucking science is hitting me hard today. I'm fucked. I got in, listeners, at 7 a.m. this morning.
Hate that for you. Hate it.
Does your wife ever say anything when you collapse in the door at 7 a.m? She's probably already up with the kids, and
No.
Nah, because he goes, I just slept on the sofa last night because I didn't want to wake you up. I was in it too.
How do you know, mate?
I don't think I've ever had a night out which has resulted in me getting home at 7 a.m.
Oh,
Why?
you haven't lived.
You haven't fucking lived, boy.
It sounds like he's dying. I don't want to live like that.
I had one that resulted in us getting back at 10 in the morning.
There you go. Better than 7.
Because we decided to go from a party, walk to McDonald's, which is 6 miles away.
Did you walk through the drive-thru?
Get the breakfast, be really annoyed when we got there, and I was like, can I order this? And they said, we don't start that till 11 o'clock. Being absolutely gutted about that. And then, just getting the bus home. I wish I hadn't bothered.
I used to do it when I was younger. I used to do it where I didn't go to sleep.
Yeah. Those are the days.
That's what Colombian marching powder does to you, kid.
I was going to say, that's what the amphetamines do.
Don't do it, kids. Anyway, seeing as though Sick Note McGee's not here, it's time for Stig's sensational news.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
First up, Forza Horizon 5 is coming to PlayStation 5 in spring 2025. PlayStation 5 version of Forza Horizon 5, developed by Panic Button in partnership with Turn 10 Studios and Playground Games, will have the same content as the Xbox and PC release of the game.
Fantastic.
Previously released car parks, as well as Hot Wheels and Rally Adventures expansions, will also be available for purchase.
This is the beginning. It's starting to
It's
happen.
already started, but this is the first big exclusive, I think, because the rest of them were just
No,
They were
Sea
just
of Thieves
studios
would
they
have been the first.
bought.
Sea of Thieves
yeah.
would have been the first big exclusive.
What about
Yeah,
Hi-Fi
well,
Rush?
It's not as big as Forza, though, is it?
Hi-Fi
It was a
Rush
big one, but not as big.
Xbox made one.
Yeah, I mean, it good for PlayStation. It was like Forza Horizon 5. It's a cracking little game.
It'd be 70 fucking quid.
Probably, but it's a lot of fun. And like, I don't like the PlayStation doesn't have that from their own studios because they have like Gran Turismo, but that's so much more of a driving simulator rather than a fun arcade racer.
The
I don't
Crew.
like arcade races, so I'm all right.
No, but
I do.
Yeah, but the
I
Crew's
much
also on
prefer-
Xbox. Like, it's like
Yeah, it's true. Racing sims bore the life out of me when I can just plough my car through a field and through someone's house to get to my
Yeah.
objective. That's more fun. Much more fun. And then go for a
Absolutely.
jump over a river.
Next. Sorry. Sorry, I'm away, me lads.
Yeah, I know. I did it on purpose. I sat there going, I'm finished now. I'm waiting for him to pay attention and say next. Next up, PSN service. It's finally been restored. Coming back online around midnight as of Saturday last night.
what happened?
No, it was out.
When?
Sony provided no substantive details.
What
on
date?
what
Like, as
took
in
the service
8th yesterday?
offline.
yeah.
But it cited an operational issue and offered 5 days additional service to PlayStation Plus. Ooh.
I was
Tell you
fuming.
now, I weren't playing no PlayStation yesterday.
I was trying to. I got all my snacks out, got everything laid out, got my wine, got everything, got
You
my
haven't
little
turned your
electric
PlayStation on
blanket
in years, man.
I have.
Liar.
I play Phasmophobia. Well, I was supposed to play Phasmophobia with the lads last night. Couldn't do it. I was
shit.
like, wait a minute. They're all on Xbox. I'll play it on my Xbox. I downloaded it, got everything ready to log in. Fucking PlayStation starts working again.
Put it on your Xbox then. Get rid of
Yeah,
PlayStation.
yeah, but I've got more stuff on my PlayStation.
Get rid of it.
You,
Xbox.
you haven't finished Indie yet.
I haven't finished Indie yet. No,
You need to get that finished, love. We
You
have
may as well
things to
finish
talk
it on
about.
PlayStation.
Shouldn't
Maybe buy
finish
on
games
PlayStation.
anymore.
I don't. I've got such a bad.
How's
like,
Neva coming on?
I can't concentrate on anything
Yeah.
at the moment. I'm getting worse with age. I think I've developed ADHD in my late 30s.
You cut it off me when I got in
Yeah,
bed with
I think I.
podcast,
Yeah, I
so
think I did.
Also,
you weren't aware of it.
there was some stuff coming out basically saying that it looks like Sony were hacked again. Like someone was like doing like, do you remember what Lizard Squad did like fucking 14 years ago or some
Not
shit?
even like just a DDoS attack or
Yeah,
that.
it would be something like that just took it down.
Fuck it. Who cares? Who uses PSN?
People on PlayStation.
I don't.
Well, yeah, because you're an antisocial gamer and you don't want to pay for the play
Thing is,
online.
the problem is that I was reading on Discord that they were trying to play Black Ops 6, but they couldn't even play the campaign because you have
has
to
to be
be
online.
connected to online. This is fucking ridiculous. Can't even play single player experience because the network's down. That's
'Cause
so
You may as well just
stupid.
give up altogether, PlayStation, then nah, that's it. Over. Throw it, towel in. Xbox win. Let's not talk about the red ring of death.
What's from 20 years ago? Anyway, next.
Hey,
Football
still got
Manager
horror stories
25,
from that.
hooked before kickoff. Football Manager 25 has been cancelled, with developer Sport Interactive focusing on Football Manager 26 instead. This year's version, which has already been delayed twice and was due in March, has been billed as a massive leap forward for the popular spreadsheet sim, but the studios decided to call curtains on this year's.
Fair. If they...
I think that was writing was on the wall, wasn't it, when they kept delaying a game which should have been out at the start of the season or halfway through the season, and it's not even out yet.
I mean, if you get a better game at end of it next year, who cares, man? There's not enough games out, is there?
Why don't they just say, like, if they were going to do a massive overhaul, just say, we're not doing it this year, rather than promising
That's
it?
investors, probably.
Yeah, the
You
publisher
know,
Sega
it's
will have
like-
been pushing for it.
Yeah.
Just drop a legacy edition out at least. Give them something. New
I
menu
thought I
colours.
did.
Come on.
Did think it was funny when it says, "Oh, it's going to come out in March." I'm like, hang on, doesn't the season end in May? Like,
Yeah, with Leeds going up into Premiership. Yeah.
is that a thing that's happening?
Oh, yeah, boy.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Good for them. I was wondering if you were taking the piss.
No, they're not good at FA Cup, though, so far.
Yeah, it's avoid FA Cup chat today. Speaking of games being cancelled, Warner Brothers has axed another live service game.
Oh, no.
The Multiverse team confirmed Season 5 will end on 30th of May, although the game is still available offline for the foreseeable future.
What the fuck is Multiverse?
Multiverses
fighting game.
was their take on Smash Brothers. Yeah, it was like all the Warner Brothers franchises together.
That's not been out long, has it?
Didn't feel like it.
About 2 years.
Longer than I remember.
People just aren't playing it, clearly.
It's where
Yeah, that's why.
it's where you can have Superman beating the shit out of Bugs Bunny because apparently that's a thing that can happen in these games.
Oh, I want to play it now. I've got about a week.
Well, it'll be offline. You can play it offline.
Can I play as Jessica Rabbit? Thighs
You
and
know what, one of
Thunder.
those.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
She's Touchstone.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Remember them? Yeah, it's a shame. Fuck 'em. Next.
Speaking of more games the plug being pulled on, Capcom to pull the plug on Resident Evil multiplayer spin-off. This article says, you may recall this game was included with purchases of Resident Evil Village, although it's faced a hearty delay and it didn't actually deploy until a year over the single player's title it was supposed to be included alongside. And now, a little over 2 years after launching, the publisher is pulling the plug. The game and all of its various DLCs will be removed from digital storefronts on the 3rd of March and will officially end service on the 29th of June. This means you'll no longer be able to play it from the latter date, even if you installed it on your console. Resident Evil Reverse was developed in celebration of the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil series, and your overwhelming support of the game, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So
I never even downloaded it. I wrote it.
Reverse. Yeah.
It was shite.
I didn't even download it.
I forgot about it.
It was
No.
it was trying to do some of that asymmetric multiplayer thing like Dead by Daylight was doing, but it's with a slightly more of a deathmatch feel to it. And it was just crap.
Just stick to what you're good at. Making single player horror games.
That's right, Stig.
Yeah. Just stick to what you're good at.
Stick to things that are making you fucking money.
Well, they're hoping all these do make money. That's the problem, isn't it? But
Yeah,
none
the
of
one
them
The thing
do.
is, like, Capcom are literally now floating on Monster Hunter and Resident Evil. That is their biggest two franchises.
Street Fighter.
Easily. I don't think that's doing as well. Honestly, I don't. I don't hear
About
people.
6 did all right, didn't
It's probably sold about 8 million or something.
Street Fighter is their kind of live service success, so they do have like a live. Because since Street Fighter
It's at
4, it's
Evo
been
and
live
stuff.
service. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is sold 3 million. That's all right, but not as much as I'd expect.
Exactly. It's all about Monster Hunter and Resident Evil for them, and like Steve said, stick to that. No crazy.
What on Emusha now?
But to me, that falls in the Resident Evil category, though. It's the same like if you've finally got your Dino Crisis. It's that same mold, isn't it?
Yeah.
I see
Single
that.
player games.
Yeah. Stick to it.
Whereas
Devil May
Monster-
Cry. Blah blah blah.
Monster Hunter's the big multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Ish. It's kind of a
Yeah.
it's like a single player multiplayer game. It's weird.
I usually play the whole thing on my own first.
Yeah. I did a good chunk of Rise by myself.
Cool. Next.
Marvel Star randomly reveals plans to revive Sleeping Dogs movie project and wants a sequel game. 6 weeks after it looked like Sleeping Dogs film would be never materialised, Marvel Star Simu Liu has suddenly revealed his involvement in still making one happen. Earlier this month, Star Wars actor and legendary martial artist Don Yen revealed that he had given up on the idea of Sleeping Dogs movie after spending many, many years trying to get it made with little progress. Now the Shang-Chi star appears to have picked up the torch after randomly responding to a fan question on social media and is keen on getting a sequel game too.
That's the
That makes
Triad
sense.
one, isn't it?
Yeah. Sleeping Dogs is great.
I can't remember.
I guess if they do
I can't
it,
remember.
I'm thinking though, like,
Who made
could
it?
Could
Square
you do a
Enix?
tie-in?
Mm,
Maybe you want to do like a tie-in with the film if you're going to do the game with Simu Liu, like, but
Get his face in the game as well.
The games take ages to develop now, don't they? And like,
About 4 years.
yeah, you can knock a movie out within 2 years.
Yeah.
So
it was made by United Front Games,
Oh.
who
Who published it?
Squeenix.
I thought they had some kind of play in it.
Let's
I
see,
can't remember it. I remember playing it and going, "Oh, this is good."
I think I played
I
a
just
demo
can't-
of it.
I can't remember anything about it. I just was like, "Oh yeah, this is good." Like you could punch people into like fish tanks and stuff.
Yeah, it was it was supposed to be the third one of the true crime games. You remember, like
It
True
was,
Crime
yeah. It's supposed to
Gangs of
be
New
True
York or
Crime
whatever
Hong
it was.
Kong, wasn't it?
Yeah, but then they kind of Activision wouldn't give them the rights to it, so
yeah.
they created Sleeping Dogs instead. But it's essentially the same game, but it was kind of a combat focused,
It
hard
was
boiled
polished
detective
way better
game.
than the True Crime games.
Oh yeah.
I can definitely remember the polish. I never thought it wasn't anything less than a AAA game.
Yeah, no, it was a really good game, and like especially when the remaster for PS4 and Xbox One, like,
Didn't
was
it
banging.
have a famous actor in it? James Woods, maybe, something like that caliber. Pretty sure it did. Pretty sure
Sleeping Dogs.
an English guy in it. Well, English speaking guy. I'm sure it had someone. famous in
Emma
it.
Stone was in it.
Emma Stone. That's not James Woods though.
I can see how you could get the two mixed up.
I mean, I hear they get mixed up all the time.
Yeah.
Hollywood actors in it. Yeah, James Hong, who's the Asian guy and everything.
Yeah.
Selena Jade, Lucy Liu, and Emma Stone.
Yeah, I know it had some money put into it, right?
It
I
did,
was
yeah.
just looking it up on IMDb, but it came up with a 2024 film called Sleeping Dogs with Russell Crowe in. I was about to say, oh, look, it had Russell Crowe in it, and it had Karen Gillan. And I was like, hang on, let's scroll back up.
Hang on. Listeners, if you are looking forward to the reboot of Sleeping Dogs, let us know.
The main character was portrayed by Will Yun Lee.
Will Young.
Who has been in such quality films as Die Another Day and Elektra.
Yeah, he was the Diamond Man in Die Another Day.
He was also in
Diamond Face.
the Wolverine.
Yeah, he was. He was in the Wolverine.
So
He was-
yeah,
It was the one that he dangles off a building,
yeah.
chucks into the pool. There's
Yeah,
a pool.
It never got the sequel made.
Cool. Bring it on. Next.
Next up, it's not even out yet, but gloriously old school JRPG Claire Obscura Expedition 33 is getting a live action movie. Per Variety, Claire Obscura developer Soundfall Interactive is working with Story Kitchen to develop an adaptation, with Kepler Interactive handling publishing duties. Casting and directing duties are being worked out right now.
That
Fantastic.
could be interesting. I hope this game is good. I really hope this game is good because it's got the potential. Like visually, it looks stunning.
Yeah,
It'll
it does.
tide me over till Dragon Quest. 'Cause
It's
it's the same mold, same type of turn-based, character-driven RPG.
A lot of people said how like good the voice acting stuff is in it.
Mhm.
So and the
Yeah,
narrative.
when I watch some stuff, yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're
I-
obviously.
I just
banking
don't
on
want
it
to
being a
talk
big
about
hit.
it. I don't want to get excited and then IGN 4 out of 10.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Nah,
That's
it could be 8, minimum 8, I think. I got 86 Metacritic.
Oh.
I think everything I've seen, I think it looks really good.
90.
I think it'll probably be 80 to 83, somewhere around there. I think it's going to have some flaws, but it's going to be like a really
But you can
enjoyable
ride
time.
on a big boy,
I think you can ride on a big boy.
which got to give it an extra point. You know when it has pros and cons at the bottom?
Yeah.
Pros. You can ride on a big boy.
Cons, can't in real life.
Can't in real life. Trust me, they will chuck you off. I've tried it. Next.
Next, up to the world of film and TV, Mexicans make Amelia Perez parody poking fun at French stereotypes.
You mentioned that they were doing this other week, didn't you?
It's out on YouTube. You can watch it. Unfortunately,
Brilliant.
it is in Spanish. So
Good job, I'm fluent.
with, I think, piss taking of French. So yeah, there's no subtitles to it. So I was looking forward to just kind of watching it as a piss take. I think it's about half hour long, but yeah.
You'll be
the war-
surprised how much French and Spanish you can understand, mate.
The war of words between Mexico and France over transgender gangster musical Amelia Perez has heated up even more after the release of the spoof film called Johann Sacre Bleu, poking fun at French stereotypes.
Are they all eating baguettes?
Mexican trans.
If there isn't a guy in that with a garlic necklace on, I'm not
Yeah,
watching it.
Mexican trans filmmaker Camila Aurora posted a 30-minute video on social media which features dancers and actors dressed in fake mustaches, wearing berets and striped t-shirts in a comic strip about romance between the trans heirs of a rival croissant and baguette-producing families.
Hey, boy.
I mean, this is perfectly petty. I fucking love this.
Film of the year.
The lead of that, actually, she's come under some hot water for some recent tweets. So, and they've kind of phased her out of the awards, like interviews and
for
chats.
Amelia Perez.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
Oh god, what's she done?
I can't remember,
dear.
but the people aren't happy with.
She's trans and she's probably gone, trans people don't exist. But you are. No, I'm the only one. I've seen a lot of people like that lately.
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner's like, I'm the only one. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you love? Well, you are.
Anyway, yeah, it was just a bit of fun. Thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's
because,
great.
yeah,
Brilliant.
that film does just take the piss with stereotypes. Still winning awards. A film that hasn't been massively well received by critics somehow bagged 3 critic awards the other day.
Is there something?
I'm baffled. I'm baffled. But,
Has the director got something on Hollywood or something?
well, it must do. Spent
No,
a lot
it's-
of money.
DEI. That's what it is.
Didn't you watch like 20 minutes Oodles and like noped out of it?
I couldn't carry on. I hated it.
Yeah.
I did.
And I like Zoe Saldana. I think she's very beautiful and very talented. She couldn't carry it for me. Which is shocking because she's good.
I did see a clip of the song where they're going around the. I assume it's around the clinic for the transgender surgery and
El
someone.
Mano.
Yeah, and it just. What is that? Is it? Oh, they go to have a
Got to the
vagina. Yeah, I was just like,
that's
oh, that's that's Oscar nominated.
I don't get it.
Meanwhile, I'm Just Ken got fuck all. You know what I mean?
Anyway.
That's musical.
On to more serious news. Superman Estate sues Warner Brothers Discovery DC Comics to block release in key territories. The Estate of Superman creator Joseph Schuster is suing Warner Brothers Discovery and its DC Comics, claiming it lacks the rights to release the upcoming summer tentpole in a handful of key territories. Plaintiff Mark Warren Peary, executive of the estate, filed in the suit today in the federal court in Southern District of New York, seeking damages and
Injunctive.
injunctive relief for defendants' ongoing infringements in Canada, United Kingdom, Ireland, and Australia, as well as declaratory relief establishing the Schuster estate owning rights across relevant jurisdictions. And there's a lot of jargon in here about.
Don't panic,
whatnot.
guys, because they do it every time a Superman film comes out. And they've
yeah,
never won. They've never won. The Schuster estate has never won.
Yeah, it's basically going.
Do it every time.
It's basically fucking around with the idea that Jerome Siegel and Joseph Schuster sold the rights to the company that DC became in 1938 for $130. It's a lot of money in 1938, but still.
It's when they were. Is it Timely Comics originally?
Yeah, but also that was when he was.
Detective Comics.
That was just when he was just a side character that was in Action Comics or something like that.
Yeah. When he could jump over buildings.
Yeah, and that was his power. So, yeah, they're basically.
Honestly, it happens all the time, doesn't it? Like someone will have sold something off before it got famous, and then like their family or estate. It happens a few times. Over the time, they'll come back and go, "Well, where are all the royalties on that?" I say, "Well, no, you sold it. It just happened to get big after you sold it. Like that's
James
that's
Gunn
that's
is not
their
sat
fault.
in his mansion now shitting himself.
No,
I think
He's
what
not worried.
they're,
He's not worried.
What they're trying to argue is that in some territories, in these territories they're talking about, which is based on a lot of UK copyright law, copyright provisions revert back to the originator's
After a
estate
certain amount of time.
25 years after their death.
Yes.
So that's what they're trying to do. I think this does sound like they're just trying to get some fucking money out of Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah, they want them to sell it again, but in these territories, don't they? That's what they want.
Yeah.
Fuck them. We'll still get to see it. It'll still release on the day it's supposed to release.
Yeah,
They'll do it every time.
They'll chuck them 10 million to shut up or something like that.
Shut up. Boom, done. Next.
Next up, John Malkovich, Mark Ruffalo joined Sam Rockwell in Martin McDonagh's Wild Horse 9.
Oh.
Martin McDonagh's next film is he is the director of 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and in Bruges. Will star those 3 names: John Malkovich, Mark Ruffalo, and Sam Rockwell. Cameras roll in March in Rapa Nui, the indigenous name for Easter Island, a protected Chilean wildlife area 3,700 kilometers off the country's coast. Doesn't actually say what the film's going to be about.
And big heads.
Doesn't matter. It's going to be good anyway, by the sounds
Yes,
of it.
exactly.
It's got Sam Rockwell in it.
McDonough has not done a... It's got Sammy in it. McDonough's not done a bad film, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
It's fine, isn't it? It's going to be good. It's going to be great. A lot
Great
of talking, a lot of
cast,
shouting.
great director. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
I haven't seen Sam Rockwell in ages. Have you?
what was the last thing he was in?
He was in something dodgy, wasn't he?
I miss him. He's one of my favourite actors on the planet. He's so good.
Oh, he was
Argyle.
in Argyle, yeah. Ugh.
That's it.
Oh. And he
Which
was
was
the
not that
best
bad.
thing in that, actually.
He's in The Bad Guys. Bad Guys 2 comes out this summer.
Oh,
I know
is
I know it's only a voice role, but
Okay.
Well,
I just miss him. I miss his little face.
2 favourite things he's ever been in: Moon and 7 Psychopaths.
Don't
Oh,
forget
man, it's so
how
good.
fucking good he is in Iron Man 2. That's not a good film. He's
Yeah,
the
it's-
best thing in it.
Yeah, he's very good.
see how they run. That was all right. What? Jojo Rabbit. So he's
Yeah,
few things
Hitchhiker's
over the
Guide
last
to the
few
Galaxy's...
Oh, shit, he was in Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
Yeah,
Green
you
Mile. He was
are.
in Green Mile, right?
Fucking hell, he's been
yeah,
around.
yeah. He was the dickhead one, wasn't he? That
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
that didn't wet the sponge.
Didn't win this-
No, he was the other inmate, I think, wasn't he?
No, he weren't. He was a
Was he?
warden. Yeah. He was horrible.
I remember him being a prick.
Yeah.
That's what I love about him. He can be a leading man. He can be a prick. He can be. He's a great actor. People just leave him out of things. But Sammy Rockwell's the man. Next.
Next, a new Buffy the Vampire reboot is in the works at Hulu, with Sarah Michelle Gellar set to return as Buffy. Oscar winner Chloe Zhao is set to direct the pilot.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't have Hulu, so I don't know what Hulu is.
Oh,
It'll
it's
come to Disney
just-
over here.
Yeah,
Oh.
big Disney. Most things got on Hulu end up on Disney over here. She has never wanted to return to this, so I'm hoping that means that there's actually something good that she wants to.
No, she's got a mortgage to pay, pal.
Yeah, it's a
I don't
thin
think- I
lorry
don't
full of
think
money.
she's-
She's been
Yeah,
cropping
but-
up a bit, hasn't she? She's in that new Dexter series as well.
Yeah, I don't
No
think
one's watching
she's
that apart from
struggling
you,
for-
mate.
Struggling for money, like. But
She's still married to Freddie Prinze Jr.
yeah,
I think so.
That's got to be a long time for an Hollywood couple. That.
They it's why Freddie Prinze Jr. just kind of
25
retired
years.
from Hollywood. Like he stopped.
Yeah.
They had kids and he became a
It
stay-at-home
was one
Oh,
dad.
of them. One of them had to change the. Yeah.
he used to be a writer for the WWE at one point.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
He
Really?
said, yeah, he's a massive wrestling fan. He's like, I'd love to do writing for it, so they
Does he
brought
have
him
a
in as a
wrestling
writer for
podcast
it.
now.
Yeah, he's proper into wrestling. Yeah, I mean, obviously they can't have all the cast return because
Some are dead.
certain characters died and certain actors outside have come into troubles. Then the guy who plays Xander, can't remember his
Oh
name.
yeah.
He's in
Um,
prison now, isn't he?
Yep.
He's been locked up a few times. I don't know where he is now. But obviously they could bring Alison Hannigan back and Giles.
Anthony Head.
I can never remember his name.
Anthony Head.
Anthony Head.
Anthony Head, that's it. Forever, I only ever known him as Giles from Buffy. Whenever I see him in anything, that's Giles from Buffy.
What about David Boreanaz as Angel?
He has commented and said he hasn't been contacted.
Nobody wanted him.
But the problem with that is they'd have to spend a shitload of money de-aging him because he's
Yeah.
a vampire.
He's a vampire.
So that's probably
Oh,
the reason
shit.
why they're not bringing him back. They might bring him back
can't do
for
it,
one
pal.
episode where they can afford to de-age him, but not as a regular.
Oh yeah. Or they can say the witches took the vampirism out of him, and I've just been a man ever since.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting concept where the series left. Like, there's a lot of different Slayers.
There's witches and stuff.
Hellmouth was closed. They've gone looking for more Hellmouths. Like,
I never watched it all. I just, yeah, I watched it. If it was on BBC Two when I was a kid, I'd watch it. I was never like, fucking, oh, gotta get over buddy.
I watched up to the same point twice, when it originally came out, and then me and Kate did a rewatch. We just kind of fell off at the same point. But I do know the ending because I've watched like the final few episodes.
The goodies win.
Yes.
It does get a bit weak after maybe the third season or so. Like the first 3 seasons, I think, are really good telly.
It's when the secret military operation comes into it.
Yeah.
That's when it gets a bit. She goes off to college and there's a secret military
Just
operation.
move. Leave town.
She's the Slayer.
She's the Slayer. She protects him. If she wasn't there, they did an episode where if she wasn't alive, what would happen?
They were all dead.
Everyone died. All the good people became vampires.
Okay. Next,
up to music. Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath announced final show. It's definitely the final show this time. 100%
They said that last time.
The final show.
Yeah, but
Have
have you
they got all
seen
Black
Ozzy
Sabbath?
recently?
It might be his final
Geezer
show
But-
because I don't think he'll
is
survive.
Geezer
the next
Butler
year.
back?
Yeah, they're all back.
Yeah.
Tony
Bill
Iommi,
Ward.
Geezer Butler, the other one,
Bill Ward.
Bill Ward.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath returning for one last time to play a fundraising concert in Birmingham on the 5th of July.
I'm sorry, but he's on my Deadpool this year, Ozzy Osbourne, but they've got to have him miming, haven't they?
I was really.
They will pump him for Sharon Osbourne.
He can't sing
personally
anymore.
Will pump him through. No one cares.
He'll be done up like Palpatine in the last Star Wars film. You know, he's hanging from the thing. And he's got all the pipes going into the back of him with amphetamines keeping him going.
Is it at Villa Park? It's at Villa Park, isn't it?
Yeah. It is,
Sharon
yeah.
told BBC News he was determined to put on one final show, and it actually two
Ghosted
from
there as well.
Sleep Token's going to be playing at it as well.
It's two from Sleep Token. They're doing super group things. So I think there's a bunch. There's Tom Morello. I think Papa Emerita. No, it's Papa Perpetua now.
Yeah,
from,
the new one.
Yeah, from Ghost.
Some members of
there's a
Metallica
bunch.
turning up. I think Zach Wilde's going to be
It's
there.
actually
I've got Rob
Metallica
Trio
playing.
going like this next to
Oh,
Ozzy.
right.
Yeah, so actual Metallica are playing, but then there's also they're doing.
Oh, they like
supergroups and
supporting
stuff.
them.
Yeah, and then supergroups in addition. So it's essentially it's Ozfest, but there's
In Villa Park.
that's
Fucking hell,
a
it is. Black Sabbath,
42,000
Ozzy Osbourne.
seater venue,
But-
without a stage in it. So maybe 35,000. If you think of all the people that go to download, and there's about 200,000 each year, and not everyone that wants to go to download can be asked to go every year. So you'll think it's probably millions of people just in the UK that are going to want to go
How
to this
much
show.
is that going to cost?
Hang on. How are they? Is this? So obviously,
Cheapest tickets are in the
there's-
hundreds, Oodles.
Yeah, Black Sabbath are clearly only, and Ozzy are only going to play like half an hour out there. Because if you look at here, it says Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, Gojira, Alice in Chains, Hailstorm, Lamb of God, Anthrax, Mastodon. Additional performers, and then there's Billy Corgan, Fred Durst.
That's the
We've
additional
got-
performers one is the supergroup one.
Yeah.
So
it's just-
where you'll have a handful of kind of core musicians and different singers coming in and out.
so,
Well,
yeah,
I've I've read a few things online.
be like a
and they're saying,
live kind of thing, innit?
they reckon that a bit like the Freddie Mercury tribute, like all these bands are coming on to play Sabbath songs.
Yeah,
Ozzy
I
Osbourne
wouldn't be
songs.
surprised.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But you're not going to get change for even for the shite seats. You won't get change for over 200 quid. I don't think.
I will not bother. I've
No.
seen Black Sabbath. I'm happy.
Same.
Also, just weird, notably, that didn't Slayer split up like 5 years ago? Like when they completely
Hey,
done.
Black Sabbath has split up 5 times. Come on.
Well, true,
I don't
yeah, but
remember Slayer splitting up.
I'm fairly sure Slayer, but I'm fairly sure I saw Slayer in 2018 on their farewell tour.
Oh, name me a metal band that hasn't split up.
I mean, Pantera doesn't count because 2 of them died, but and one of them turned out to be a Nazi.
Well, one in Rome. Next.
New segment. Biggie's bullet points. Just a few
What?
Yeah.
We've introduced a new segment, and just like that, we are.
I think you'll find if you go back through the WhatsApp group,
He doesn't scroll up.
No.
you'll see that I suggested this, and you actually said, "Great idea."
How long ago was this?
Like 2 days ago, yesterday maybe.
Can't remember.
Yeah, 2 days ago, I think.
Don't remember that kind of shit.
Yeah, because there's 2 weeks worth of news. So
Go!
yeah. Quick comment: Solid Snake Delta out 28th of August.
Solid
Been
Snake
confirmed.
Delta.
That's what
Snake
Biggie's put here.
Snake Eater Delta.
This is This is Biggie's fault.
Metal Gear Delta, it's called.
Metal Gear Delta Biggie. Fucking hell. I've gone full on Ron Burgundy there.
It doesn't even have the Snake Eater suffix on it. It's just Metal Gear Delta. That's what it's called.
Metal Gear Delta, 28th of August. It got leaked, so then they officially announced it.
Fair enough.
GTA 6 release date still on track for this autumn. Take-Two insists despite delay fears.
It's going to get delayed.
No, I'm holding the pipe. Hasbro announces Magic the Gathering film and TV series. Wants it to be the next cinematic universe.
Yes!
That will die after one film.
It will.
I don't even know what Magic the Gathering is. It's the
If
card game,
Dungeons
isn't
and
it?
Dragons can't get a sequel after releasing a great film.
Magic the Gathering wouldn't work as a film series because it's so disparate. Like with
Nerds
Dungeons
and
and Dragons,
cards.
but there is a story behind Magic the Gathering. But the problem is, the cards just are so wildly varied across these different ideas of lore and reboots and all that. At least Dungeons and Dragons has like a contiguous universe and like things you could reference. Like I don't know how you turn Magic the Gathering into a film, and then do you put all this, like I've got Fallout Magic the Gathering cards. Does Fallout count? You know?
Have you heard these fucking nerds, Candy?
I did actually
me,
dabble
I-
in Magic the Gathering.
I've never
for
played
a
Magic
minute.
the Gathering. Don't look at me. Look at them two oodles.
Stig, have you heard these two fucking nerds?
Just like a fantasy version of Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse!
Play Pokemon games.
Moving on, Matthew Lillard will return as Stu Matcher in Scream 7.
Cool.
This has been rumoured
died.
for a while. He never saw him die. We never actually
He
see him
bled out
die.
in kitchen.
We didn't see him die. So I'm guessing the idea
You
is
didn't
that
see the life escape from his eyes.
I'm guessing the idea is that he
They were
survived.
putting him in
He's been
body bags at
prison.
end in the ambulance.
He's been in prison. I think that was
Did you
everyone
see him
else that
get
was
cremated?
killed.
That could have been everyone else, yeah.
If you never see a body, don't assume that they're dead. Rule 101.
Okay.
Few trailers that they released before the Super Bowl, which was weird. Usually you only get these during the Super Bowl, but they decided to release them early. We got Jurassic World Rebirth trailer. We got a Fantastic
Shite.
Four first. I thought it looked all right. And
You've just got this fucking pedestal
not
for
because
Jurassic
I'm
Park.
optimistic with the people involved. Gareth Edwards is directing, and it's got 3 good actors in. It's got the original writer of the original film.
They should use my idea. Resurrect John Hammond.
No,
They're no expense, and I'll go see it.
Final Fantastic Four, the First Steps trailer. So we got to
This looked
see the Fantastic Four in more details. Didn't see any stretching,
Not yet.
not yet. But we did see Galactus Shadow.
And his
Finally
dong.
giving us proper Galactus.
His massive dong.
Somebody said on it was a Twitter or Blue Sky, one of them. They're just like that they've made Galactus too small, and it was just like he can
change.
change any size he wants. Fucking hell.
He wasn't born massive. His mum wasn't bigger than him.
Yeah, if he wants to just be the
He
normal
can
size of a
change.
human, he can do it.
Yeah. I hate
Cheap.
nerds.
I just really like that they went the comic accurate with the design of the thing.
Yeah, with this big fat brow.
Yeah.
Helmet.
And we got Final Destination's Bloodlines trailer, which wasn't really a trailer, and more just here is one of the deaths from the film. This film's coming out. Enjoy. Like they didn't give anything else away other than that one scene, and then they go, "Here's," and the film's coming out.
Made my eyes water though. That scene. Woof.
Yes,
Nope.
especially someone who works in a tattoo shop with I
Who
presume
has a
piercings.
piercing.
Yeah, who has the septum piercing?
Yeah. Oh, and I
Take
certainly
it
don't
out.
want it to get ripped out that way.
Is that what happened?
He gets ripped out. The chain gets caught on a
Ceiling fan,
fan.
isn't it?
It gets
What
cooked
the fuck
on
are those?
there.
I've never seen these films. What the
He
fuck?
then can't get it undone, and he
Why?
falls into a fire.
What?
All right. then.
Because death finds a way.
Is that what those films are about? Just people dying stupid
It's
death?
People who
Yeah,
escape
it
death.
literally is creative deaths. The movie.
Anyone else still traumatized, like driving behind a log truck after seeing the
Yeah, I'll
film?
never do
Absolutely.
it. Name me
Because-
somebody
And
who
sunbeds.
drives who doesn't move out of the way when they come behind a log truck or
Who the fuck drives past a log truck in this country?
it still has them. It does
Yeah.
happen.
They do happen, but it's a very specific like millennial PTSD, I think, because like I saw Final Destination before I could drive because it came out in 1999, I think, before I got my license, because I was 13, and ever since that, it's fucking traumatized me. Anytime, like, my dad was driving behind a log truck, I was like, Dad, move over, kid. Just hang back a bit. It's like, they're not going to fall off. I saw it in the film. It can happen.
I've actually seen it happen, and it was a smaller truck, and it was planks, but they stopped suddenly, and it came off the front. So it can happen. So don't drive in front of them either.
I've not seen any of them, so I'm thinking like Final Destination in review,
they're not great.
2026.
They're not good.
Stig, let's do it.
Quite a fun one to do. I think Candy would join on that.
I'd be
one.
up for that. It would be fun.
I
They are
haven't seen
actually
any
at the
of
core.
them.
They are actually pretty fun films. They're just silly. It's just creative deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a MacGuffin to get people killed.
Yep.
Okay.
Finally, onto the weird world web. There's 2 stories here. Doctor finds Florida man has cholesterol oozing from his body. A man from Tampa, Florida, started leaking
What's cholesterol
chunks.
look like?
Cheese.
Started leaking chunks of cholesterol from his skin after spending years gorging himself on fatty foods as part of a carnivore diet. The man, who's in his 40s, went to Tampa General Hospital 3 weeks after he began seeing yet strange, pale, yellowish nodules
Nodules.
emerging from his palms, soles, and elbows, according to a new case report published by the journal JAMA Cardiology. It turns out he was eating so many fatty foods that it just started to seep out of his skin.
I've had an idea, e-girls. That can be the next thing you sell. Bathwater, move aside. It's hand cheese next.
Nope. What's the carnivore diet? Is that just eating meat?
So it's basically it's what the Atkins diet was known as. So it's basically you eliminate all carbohydrates and sugars from your diet. So it is
Sounds
primarily
boring.
Fish, eggs,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's primarily
Bone
just animal
marrow.
products.
That sounds fucking boring.
full fat dairy, animal fats like lard. It's what the Liver King eats, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
look at him. He
also
looks healthy, don't you, lads?
He eats organs and,
Fucking
as well, and also
Awful.
offal and does
But he
steroids
eats
as
it
well.
raw, and I've seen him like scooping bone marrow out of bones with a spoon. He's just a fucking weird dude.
Imagine.
Really sorry if you're eating your dinner while listening.
Yeah,
to
sorry,
this.
listeners, but imagine what his shit looks like.
Yeah, Jesus.
If you've never heard of the Liver King, look him up. Andy reckoned he was all natural as well, but and
You know, he
got
tried to
caught
get
out.
away with saying he was all natural, and then he
Looks like Macho Man Randy Savage.
he got caught. He got caught out, and he admitted that he was taking steroids, and then he stopped taking steroids, and then he didn't like that he lost all the muscle mass. He was like, "I'm going back on the steroids," and like just
owned
does
it in the end, which is fine. If you want to take steroids, I have no problem with that.
And if you don't know him, listeners, guess who he voted for in the last election? In
He did
America?
as well.
Anyway, next.
No, well, hang on before you move on to that. So, Oodles, his dietary habits included a high intake of fats, consisting of 6 to 9 pounds of cheese, sticks of butter, and additional fat incorporated into his daily hamburgers. So, it's not that he's doing a carnivore diet; he's going to an extreme here, because like most
Was
people
he
who,
super fat then?
I would assume so.
Did he look like melted ice cream?
I don't know if you necessarily would be, because if
You
you,
don't have to
have
be, do you?
pretty much just protein,
Yeah, you're not going to necessarily have trans fats and stuff, are you?
Doctors found that the man's blood
weird one,
cholesterol
that.
levels were over 1,000 milligrams. According to John Hopkins Medicine, normal cholesterol levels is less than 200 milligrams, and anything over 240 is considered high. So, yeah, 1,000.
his heart just has a wall around it.
I'm surprised.
dead, or
Surprised
is
his
he
heart
alive?
didn't give out.
Is he still alive, Stick?
Yeah.
Do we know?
And then
Get that man
one
some
other-
chips.
Yeah, one other story. This one's funny. A woman in court for aggressively farting at her boyfriend's ex.
Fair.
A judge has let rip at a woman who admitted to sending videos of her breaking wind to her boyfriend's ex. Rhiannon Evans, 25, is believed to be the first person to ever face charges for cyber farting over Christmas. She sent the videos to Deborah Pytharak. What the fuck is that? Pytharak.
Pritarek?
No.
Pritarek?
Yeah,
Pythagoras.
whatever. Debs. She sent the video to Debs, who said the videos caused her distress and anxiety. It was straight-faced prosecutor Diane Williams' job to describe how Evans proceeds to pass gas by placing the camera on her bottom and passing the gas.
Oh, I do that all the time. Shit,
Each of
my
them
friends
showed
get me
Miss
arrested.
Evans passing wind, her smiling at the camera.
So that time that I can't even remember it fondly, I stood up and farted down Mike.
One of my
Could I
favourite
have got
moments.
prosecuted for that? You
All
love
of our
that.
listeners.
No,
All
You
of our
committed a
listeners.
crime.
Yeah.
You
Cyber
assaulted
farts.
me because that was for me in the edit.
Candy loved it. She was like, that was so loud.
I was impressed.
Mrs. Williams added it was purely malicious. She was smirking throughout, found it hilarious, but the victim didn't.
Pretty hilarious, let's be real.
It ended up costing her £300, including £100 compensation to a victim and £199 in court costs.
Jesus.
Fucking hell.
I'd pay that on Klarna anyway.
People will pay OnlyFans money for that.
Yeah.
And she was sending it out for free.
Really? Cool. Let's get on to what we've been doing this past 2 weeks. Oh, I've got 2 games to talk about, guys.
You've been gaming.
Okay.
Thought you weren't
One's
gaming.
really quick, but I've completed 2 games. Not in the past 2 weeks, but just in general. The first one I want to talk about, and I want to talk about it slightly, just for a little bit. Dragon Age, the Veilguard.
Oh, yes.
So, I'm led to believe it's a long-running series by BioWare. Remember them?
Yeah.
And fans loved some of the older games, didn't they?
Origins was universally adored. The second one was universally hated. The Inquisition, people thought was all right.
Huh. Right. So do you want my idea now on this one?
Uh-huh.
I think it's fucking shite.
Oh dear.
I couldn't wait to see credits on this. Don't get me wrong, I know nothing of the story. They don't do a very good in-depth lore book for stuff you don't know. There is some stuff in there, but when you're just hearing fantasy names on top of fantasy names, on top of fantasy towns, on top of fantasy words, I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I could play Mass Effect 2 if I'd never played any others and still know the story. From the same developers. Do you know what I mean?
There's a pretty decent library in the Mass Effect games as well, so you can catch up on a lot of the lore stuff.
I think so. And it reads it to you.
Yeah.
You'd have to read it. I just think these guys have forgotten how to make an RPG. Genuinely.
I don't think it's the same guys who made those.
Is it not? It's just a name.
It's just the name. There's been a lot of staff turnover with BioWare, and a lot of the old heads have gone.
You can tell.
And they're just kind of clinging to the name. Because remember, it was also BioWare who made Anthem.
Yeah.
That game I beat in one day and took it back same day.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. Right. So again, take my word as with a pinch of salt, but I just think the combat's it's just so bad. It's just dull. All I do is pressing square. Slash. If you want to do any magic, you have to freeze the game by holding L1 and use the right stick to rest on a magic. So not click on a magic. It doesn't stay. You've got to rest it on it. So if you press the wrong one,
So you're
doing the wrong magic.
So the biotics
a wheel.
in Mass Effect.
But not as simple as that. The biotic, you had 4 biotics, didn't you?
Yeah.
Something like that. There's just a lot. And then I had a look online. People say, play as a mage. It's better. Play as a mage. Everyone should start as a mage. I'm like, I'm not doing it again. You know what I mean? I'm not going through that again. It was shite. People are kicking off and saying, "Oh, it's woke," but that stuff didn't bother me. I didn't mind that bit. You know what I mean? People are saying, "I'm not buying this game because there's a trans quest in it." Mate, it's not a trans quest. It's a fetch quest that you can do, and one of them's trans. That's it. You can completely ignore it. It's not critical. It's not pushing any agenda. And again, I say this to all people. This is a fantasy world. There might be 17 bloody genders in that fantasy world. What do you know what a fucking dragon wants to identify as? Do you know what I mean? It's fucking stupid. Anyway, yeah, other than that, though, it's a shite game. It's a really shite game.
Fair enough.
I've got nothing to recommend on it. It's pretty. I had my issue at first where I couldn't walk normal. Remember when I told you about
I
it?
remember that, yeah.
That got patched. So I weren't going mad. That got patched. There is still a horrible bug in it that they've not patched where whatever character you make your character look like, after about 15 minutes of game time, it'll just revert to having black hair. And it bugged me.
Oh.
I was annoyed by it. I don't have black hair. I like to make my characters little light brown blondie boy. And nope, black hair. And I was going, what the fuck happened? Is this story related? No, it's just a bug.
Oh, okay.
So, I hope you like black hair. And apparently this bug happens if you've got no hair. It just puts black hair on your character.
Can I have that bug in real life?
But yeah, 4 out of 10. Shite.
Ooh.
Shite.
Ooh.
I don't know what they were thinking, but I don't think I'm on my own on that one. I think a lot of people don't like that game. Does anyone want to buy it?
No.
No.
Funnily enough, after that,
I might.
I might play it. If it ever comes to Game Pass, I might play it.
I knew you were going to say that.
Can you have it for
start
20
Silent
quid,
Hill 2
mate?
yet?
Have
Hey?
it for 20 quid.
Have you even started Silent Hill 2 yet?
No.
Fuck.
Yeah, there you go.
Scary. She lives on her own, mate.
I was
It's
actually
scary.
just looking at my upcoming schedule of games, and my God, like
Yeah, there's some
March
fucking
and
big
April.
games coming out this month. Avowed's in a week or so.
Avowed comes out. Avowed is the beginning, and then March there's 3. There's
Remember
fucking
when people over here were
dedicate
saying,
this
I
coming
can't
week
believe
to
they're
getting
bringing...
through indie.
yeah.
They were saying they didn't want to bring Avowed out so close to Dragon Age. I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry.
Avowed, I think, could go to one or two ways as well. Like, I think it's been in a bit of development hell, and I
Oh,
think
dear.
it's looks very far removed from the game we first saw advertised.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But I've also finished a way better game in the past. So I got this game in November. I talked about the demo before then. Metaphor Refantazio.
Oh, you
I
finally
have
finished it.
finally beat it. It's taken me nearly 3 months to beat this.
What was your hour count on it? Because I know, for instance, I know
242.
because Deadbeat Punk did it in 101, I think, and he didn't do everything.
I know some. Yeah, I know some people can breeze through it. I'm not gonna be able to. This is fucking phenomenal.
Fuck's sake, I'm going to have to buy this at some point, don't I?
Like, genuine. I know I
No.
touched on it a little bit in November. Like I was saying, it's political. There's tribes, and yeah, go back and listen to old me. But I just want to talk about the rest of my adventure with it. Like I got to carry over my save from that and stuff like that. Like I said last time, it's Persona without the weird sexualization, which is all I ever want.
It's everything I wanted from Persona.
There's no nonsense to it. There's no nonsense to it. I mean, it's just
Can I make that the pod title? There's no nonsense to it.
maybe if you put an asterisk on the O. It's just absolute. Atlas have crushed this. I get why it was talked up and stuff at the Game Awards. I know it was a late drop, wasn't it? I don't
was like
believe that
October,
game
I
also.
think.
It also got me to win that fantasy draft league because I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? It gave me some fucking right scores. But they're right. Everyone's saying it's over 90 on Metacritic. They're absolutely right. The way I see it, and I was talking to my mate about it because he's been playing it. I said, you don't need to play Persona anymore. This is it now. We can forget that franchise. I know they won't, but we can. I want to see more Metaphor games. Because I like swords more than guns. I always have. And in turn-based games, it makes more bloody sense. And it's still got that Persona thing where you in Persona you were Pokemon in monsters, weren't you? You were capturing them. On this, you just change your job, like in RPGs.
Yeah.
And that's got its own skill tree and stuff. There's so many to unlock, and the game's got a beautiful time limit. You've actually got to play this game in a time limit, the in-game time limit, obviously. There's a social structure stuff.
So it's
and
basically taking the stuff that worked best from Persona and just removing
Yes,
the
but in
nonsense.
Persona, like, getting someone's relationship up just meant you could flirt with them, didn't it? Or shag them.
Yeah.
Like, in this...
Oh, no, it
You
did give you stuff in combat. You got,
stats, yeah.
You got more stats and you got more kind of synergies with certain characters in combat if you got the relationship up.
But in this, it gives you new jobs, it gives you new weapons, it gives you new everything. It's worth doing the social stuff, which I completely skipped on by the time I was playing Persona 5. I couldn't be arsed with it. This, like, I was getting to credits and I'm like, oh my God. I had this weird feeling on me. I'm like, I sat there and I was just like, is this better than Dragon Quest 11? You know what I mean? I was sat there.
Is it better than Dragon Quest 11?
I was like in a cold bath shaking, like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Then I turned on Dragon Quest 11 and went, no, it's not.
Oh.
No, it's not.
But it's in that same conversation.
But they were fucking close, man. If them two have come out in the same year, fuck me, I'd have died. This is just perfect. It's perfect.
Good.
If you're into that kind of game.
Which I am.
And again, if some people don't like turn-based games, Gadget, how fast are these turn-based games? The battles take 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah.
You spend more time picking your actions than you do in the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very fast. It's very rapid. You're always
What's the
pace.
What's the soundtrack like? Because that jazz soundtrack in Persona 5 was just
Mate, the main theme, the main battle theme, is probably the best battle theme music ever made. It's a man going, it's so good.
Is it better than the Dragon Quest XI battle theme? Because that's a pretty good battle theme.
Yes, it is better than that. It is better than that. It is better than that because it's got more stuff to it. But again, there is a demo out. Play it. It's about a 5-hour demo. You will get what you need from that to know if you're going to like it.
I just looked up.
I'm mainly talking to people like Stig that doesn't really play these kind of games. I think you'd get something out of this, Stig, but I just don't think you've got the time to put in.
Yeah, nasty. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Biggie would like it. I know he likes a turn-based. It'll take him 15 years to complete, though.
Fucking hell, it's 60 quid on Steam. It's 30 quid on CD keys.
Okay, there you go. I genuinely think if you start playing it, Gadget, in a few weeks' time, you're going to be messaging me going, "How did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do that?" Oh, it's going to be great.
I've got too much to play at the minute, but I'll get on it later this year.
It's really fucking special, and I'm glad. Like, I really took my time in. I don't know why. I just weren't playing a lot of games. Like, I beat this.
But you were sick for a month as well.
I did have a full month of not even touching the PlayStation, yeah. I beat this, I think, a week and a half ago, and I haven't played a game since, because I've just, apart from when I started playing Dragon Quest XI again, that don't count. That's a book. That's how I read books. But I'm in a funk now, like, apart from playing Dragon Quest XI and Bellaccio, that's it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that feeling when you play something so good, you're like, I don't want to start another game because it won't be as good.
I don't want to do it. Yeah. But then again, I'm reminding him that Monster Hunter's out soon. The funk will end. The funk will end. But yeah, I genuinely, if you've been on the fence, try the demo. If you know you like this kind of game, it's now jumped into my top 5 games of all time.
Oh wow!
Jesus Christ! Fuck's sake, my noodles! I've got too much to do.
And I've got a good taste in games. I know I've got Dragon Quest XI at top, but I've got Witcher 3, I've got Resident Evil 2 in there. You know what I mean? I've got a good taste of games. It's just special, man. And I don't think people are... Like when they were at Game Awards, what's that? I've never even heard of that. You know, all these fucking...
It does have a very silly name.
It's stupid
I won't
name.
worry about them. They didn't even know what Baldur's Gate 3 was the year before.
I tell you what, yeah, actually, you know, when I
Spider-Man,
was playing Baldur's Gate 3 and I just got a special feeling.
Yeah.
This is very similar to that. You get that special feeling like this is once in a lifetime.
Yeah, because I had that when I finished Baldur's Gate 3 and I was just like,
And you was like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah, what do I do now? New game.
I know what I did. I made a new character. Yeah. But this game's a linear game. There's no reason for me to redo it, really, because I unlocked everything by the end. But, yeah, please, give it a little try. Anyway, Candy.
I found an absolute diamond in the rough this week. But before I get to that, I got some unexpected mail over the last couple of weeks.
What's his name?
I opened it. No, well, not that kind of mail, unfortunately. Open this little parcel. Lego comes out. Wait a minute, I didn't order any Lego. The BBAK, Best Boy Angry Kurt,
No
upon
way.
hearing probably that I mentioned that I hadn't got Lego
You did
before,
say send me Lego. You did
I
say
did.
this.
and BBAK obliged. I got a little Lego. It's you can make it into little different things. I'm going to make it into a cat. So I'm going to be building that over the next couple of weeks. I'm
I love
excited
Lego.
about that.
I love Lego. I just don't get it myself anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's because it's expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Angry Kurt. That's the most thoughtful thing.
lad.
That's really nice thing of you to do. It is like I told him, it put a smile on my face, made my week.
Oh.
But you do know, Kurt, in Candy's world now, you're married.
That's fine.
Yeah, you're married, Kurt. So
Yeah.
You better get down there.
I can make a nice cup of tea. I'll look after him. Be all right. But my main thing this week, last night I was looking around for something to have a watch, and a Korean something was suggested to me. It's called Newtopia.
Oh.
No, it's not called Newtopia. It's called
Do you know what
yes,
it's
it is called Newtopia. It is. I was going to say like Newmageddon. It's called Newtopia.
Newmageddon's a right name. Write that down.
I started watching the first episode. No idea what it's about. Watch the second episode. Bear in mind there's 2 episodes out so far. It's a zombie comedy.
Ooh.
But not only is it a zombie comedy, it is the most wacky, offbeat, the most stylized show I've potentially ever watched. You know, like the Grand Budapest Hotel, like it's all kind of, it's all happening. It's
What, you mean one of the best films ever made?
Yeah, bright colours, this, that, the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly the same as that. It's very much got its own style, but it's that much of a visual and audio feast, shall we say?
It's artistic.
And I don't know why it was suggested to me, but I'm so happy it was because I clicked onto it. I thought, well, maybe it'd be like Squid Game-esque. It is so funny. It's got laugh out loud moments. So it's about this youngish man, mid-20s, who's been drafted into. I think is it a national? They do a national service over in South Korea, don't they?
So 2 years. They do 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's been drafted to do his national
I think
service.
you can do it any time in your 20s or something like that.
Yeah, well, they did mention that him and this friend that he's closest to in his group, shall we say, are older than the rest of them. So I think they're mid-20s, but they're with this completely, utterly useless group of lads, and they're just looking out for kind of things in the sky that they need to watch out for, this, that, and the other. And they're based in what seems to be, I think it's like a hotel or a multi-purpose high-rise building. So they've got their barracks up there, but they can see they've got the weapons at the top just to keep an eye out on what's coming in. In the meantime, the main character is staying in touch with his girlfriend, who is not happy in the relationship. It turns out she wanted to get married. He went off to do his national service. And they break up with each. She breaks up with him via text. Meanwhile, all hell breaks loose. A plane crashes into the middle of Seoul, and there's zombies. Zombies come out. There's zombies everywhere. Not just any zombies, fucking terrifying zombies. Like, I've seen a lot of zombie films. They're not nice zombies. They are genuine. There's genuine horror. But it's
Andy, can you be a bit kinder? They're people then. Can't be rude to them.
I'm sorry,
horrible.
Zombies. They are ex-people. That was
people like that.
That was
Making
cruel
me want
of
to play Dying Light now. Jesus Christ.
Don't say the Z word.
We're not calling them zombies. Do you know what? Actually, that's quite a good comparison, comparing it to Shaun of the Dead. Not so much in the style.
Is it Korean Shaun of the Dead?
Not really, no. However, it's a rom-com zom, which is how they advertise Shaun of the Dead. So it's a romantic comedy with zombies, essentially. It's focusing on these two main characters. Okay. It's so much fun. It is ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing. I would say
I think that's my favourite zombie genre. Funny zombies.
Get a couple of beers in you first, and there will be moments where you'll
I've
be
always
like,
got a couple of beers in me.
What the fuck am I? What am I even watching? Like I said, the first episode, no idea what it was about. By the end of the episode, still no idea. But I was enjoying it.
You don't have to
so
listen to
much.
some weird English dubbing, do you?
No, you don't. It did automatically go on the dub, but I changed it back to subs.
I can't stand that.
Much
Hey,
better.
man, there are zombies down there.
Yeah, it was like that.
Shoot the fire.
It was
but
bad.
you absolutely need to. If you're watching the Korean kind of game shows or competition shows, you do need.
Oh,
the
yeah,
dub.
that's
It's
different.
hysterical.
That's a feature.
Your body
That's a
is
feature.
perfect.
Oh my God, he's a god.
But it's great. I think it potentially
Newtopia. I might watch it. Is that on
Newtopia. Like
Netflix?
there's only 2 episodes out so far.
Is it Netflix or is it something else?
Amazon Prime. So
Ooh.
it could potentially
I've
be
got the
quite
Prime.
big. I think it depends how receptive people are to just how bonkers it is. It could potentially be big. I think.
Sweet. I'm down to clown.
Yeah, down to clown it because I enjoy it.
Again, that's my favourite genre of zombies, funny zombies. Or George Romero late on when he didn't give a fuck anymore. Zombies. I love that shit. With the fireworks and stuff. Cool. Newtopia, I'm writing that down. Is that you?
That's
For now?
me.
Stig's probably got 900 things. How many times have you been to cinemas in the last 2 weeks?
3. Completed 2 games.
No, you
Watched
haven't.
more films.
I'm
I have.
busy.
Which one?
How
which one do you hear about?
long were the games?
I completed Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and I loved that. And I finished Control. Turns out I was I was about an hour and 15 minutes away from finishing Control when I took a break to play Indie.
Did you enjoy it though? Because I really rate
it's really
Control.
good. It definitely opened up like the more as you start to get more powers and guns, which like most games. But once you do get them in that game, it just opens it up. Completely.
I just think
Once you can fly.
Much
the bravest
better.
thing in that game is you can just float about.
Yeah, that
And
really
what the
changes.
fuck?
Have you played the DLCs?
I played the Alan Wake one.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Because I
That's the
didn't
best one.
realise that
There's
was
the Quarry
actually-
as well, isn't there?
I didn't realise that Alan Wake one was actually DLC. I just kind of I was just doing it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and then-
You go
that
to a
stuff
floor,
started-
don't you?
That was built
stuff
into the
started
story,
happening.
that one.
Yeah, stuff started happening, and then I was like, by the end of it, I was, oh, this was clearly just like an Alan Wake 2 promo, which was good though. But it's good though. And then the other one popped up after I'd finished the main game, and I was like, I'm kind of done for now. I want to.
The other one's just like a combat trial.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
I'm
only
not-
did the Alan Wake one.
I'm
Well,
not really
funny
that
enough, the
fussed.
Alan Wake. There's two Alan Wake DLC. There's the one that's like the Twilight Zone, but then there's the next one, which is basically a promo for Control 2. So that's obviously how they do it. They leapfrog the games, and then the DLC
Yeah.
will be the teaser for the next
It's a
one.
great gaming universe. I like it.
The Ashtray Maze was great.
Yes.
Fantastic, in it.
Just went through it as fast, just pelted it through it with that music playing and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was great.
Poets
Was-
of the
was-
Fall are great.
I was saying it was the old gods of Asgard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was, and I didn't know. I forgot about them from Alan Wake 1 when I was listening to it in the Ashtray Maze. I was like, ah.
And then
But,
that's the build to their star turn in Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, man.
I'll get onto that eventually.
You'll enjoy
I've
it.
started Silent Hill 2 now, which is probably one of the scariest games I've ever played.
Oh man.
I don't really scare that
Told
easy,
ya.
but I'm feeling very unnerved. Like wandering around those apartments, I'm like, fuck me. The monsters aren't
Horrible.
scary, really, but and the noise,
Yeah.
and the darkness, and the radio, like, oh,
The
It's the
apartment block
lack
in
of
the original.
things sometimes.
The apartment
Yeah.
block in the original Silent Hill was particularly nerve wracking, and that's back on a PS2. Like it's the Woodside apartments were really good for that because you're in this tight area and it's like you're working out this puzzle. It's like you're in one like T-shaped corridor and there's 5 doors you could potentially go through, and you've got to work out this puzzle to get through them all. And it's just the tension just keeps ramping up. It was so good.
What you need to do, Stig, is breeze through it and then replay it with the chainsaw. You won't be scared anymore.
no, I've just got out of the apartments. That's where I'm at now.
Awesome game.
Anyway, what I want to talk about? Sorry, I wanted to talk about 2 films specifically. First one, Nickel Boys. This is it chronicles the powerful friendship between 2 young black teenagers navigating the harrowing trials of reform school together in Florida. This is based on real life reform school called Dozier School, which the authorities uncovered a number of unmarked graves and bodies behind the
I
school.
read the book, mate.
Yeah. And Nickel Boys is, it's the story of these 2 boys, Elwood and Turner. And it's just them navigating their way through this reform school. Like, Elwood ends up in the school just purely out of bad luck. He gets picked up by somebody who's stolen a car who offers him a lift. And because, obviously, back in, I think it's set in the 40s, 50s? 40s and 50s.
No,
Somewhere
it's
around
after
there, yeah.
it's after World War II.
No,
might be
it
right
is
with 50s.
around the time of when Martin Luther King was around giving his speeches. So
50s.
it's
Yeah.
50s.
50s.
Yeah, because he features in it prominently, like clips of him and things like that. Yeah, so obviously because racism runs wild and they don't listen to black people back then, they don't believe you, they just send him off to reform school. And it's all told through first-person perspective. The whole thing is told through the eyes of the characters, this film. Switching between the 2 boys. So you'll see it from one person's view, see it from the other person's view. Do not think this is some kind of Doom 2003 Carl Urban running around style.
This is
And
not
he's out.
hardcore Henry, is it?
Making you feel sick. Like, this is, you do not even notice that it's their point of view. Like, it's done so well. It doesn't outstay its welcome. It's not pretentious. It just works because it puts you in their direct field of view, their point of view, and you get to see all like the stuff that and they experience all the racism and the horrible shit that's happening to them, like from their point of view, and it's really well done and really powerful. Yeah, it's very good. I would recommend.
If you ever get a chance,
seeking
mate,
that out.
I recommend the book. It's powerful.
Yeah, I was thinking about the book actually.
I haven't seen the film obviously yet, but I will like to compare and contrast.
Yeah, it came out back end of last year, but sometimes when these films don't do well or start getting a bit of like noise
back out on that.
come award season, they come back out, especially at Kate's work. Like they kind of get these ones that weren't, they're not big enough to put on a 4-screen cinema, but you'll get like the odd night. They'll have a week where they'll put it on for a few nights. So yeah, really, really like that one. The other one is the big film. At the moment, it's been nominated for several Oscars. It's The Brutalist, starring Adrian Brody, Felicity Jones, Guy Pearce, Joe Alwyn. It's directed by Brady Corbett, and it's about an escaping post-war architect called Laszlo Toth, who arrives in America to rebuild his life. And through kind of almost sheer luck, he ends up being picked up by Guy Pearce's Harrison Lee Van Buren, who is a rich man, a very, very rich man, to develop
maybe some buildings.
Make him actually the word I'm trying to think of now. Like he wants to build a huge building in memory of his mother. Not mausoleum. It's not really the word I'm thinking of.
A memorial.
Yeah, it's just like a building that's going to be a church.
He wants it in the Brutalist style.
It's going to be a gymnasium in one section. It's going to be a community centre. It's going to be something for the whole community of this town that they live by that they can use, but it's going to be in memory of his dead mother.
Yeah.
So this film is 3.5 hours long.
Jesus.
Why?
It has an interval. It's that long. The first film I've
You
ever
literally
been to
watch
cinema
him
for,
put shelves up.
and I think the interval is included within that time frame. So you have 15 minutes interval where you get up and have a little wander around, stretch your legs.
Get more garlic balls.
No, I got an ice cream instead. It's not 50.
Häagen-Dazs, please. Rum and raisin, because I'm a toff.
No, they don't do that. They don't do named brand ice cream. Anyway, we're getting off the point. This film is captivating. The first half of this film is pure 5 out of 5 cinema. It is fucking brilliant.
Cinema.
Adrian Brody is... Yeah, if you want to say what is cinema, this film is cinema. Adrian Brody is amazing in this film. Like if he does not win Best Actor, then there's something going wrong. This film, in my opinion, should win Best Film, Best Actor, Best Director, Best Editing, Best Cinematography, Best Score,
Best musical.
Best yeah.
I mean, they're all going to go to Emilia Perez. You know they are.
Fucking the words. My words failing me at the moment. Guy Pearce, the one supporting actor. Supporting actor. This is the best thing I've seen Guy Pearce in a long time. He's fucking brilliant in this as well. But yeah, the score is one of those ones that literally, as you're watching, proper just burrows itself into you. Like, it is absolutely brilliant. And the first half of this film, like, I genuinely just felt absolutely captivated with it. And just the movement and the mannerisms.
I bet you secretly hated
Brody.
the 15-minute interval. You're like, I just want to carry on watching it.
No, I loved it. I want it more. Even in your big Marvel films, put a fucking intermission in there, because that was brilliant. Being able to get up, stretch a bit,
Have a shit.
go to the toilet, maybe just get another drink.
I was going to say cinemas would do well with that, wouldn't they? If people are going to go out and just get another drink or some more snacks, they'll probably do really well.
Yeah, they're stupid, though. That'd be too easy, Candy.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
It's not the cinemas that dictate it, though, is it?
No. Well, I suppose.
Like, this film had like a perfect moment where it stopped the film and then had the interval. It wasn't
The
like
lights go up and stuff. I've never been into an interval.
No,
I've
neither
in
have I.
plays.
lights
I
go
have
up.
in plays, obviously.
It says interval. It just ends of part 1 interval.
Did people just stay there, though?
50-minute timer. Some people did, but they ordered drinks to the table. I went for a little wander.
I'd be shy, me, because I always throw my ticket away. I can't get back into the second half.
But yeah, the second half isn't as good. It's very good, but it's not as good. And what I would say knocked it from being like a 5 out of 5 star film. I didn't feel the timing, but had this film been 2.5 hours long, you'd be talking an absolute stonewall 5 out of 5.
Is that second
film.
half like? Is there a bit of padding in there?
There is a bit of padding. I think that it goes places towards the end, which just kind of felt out of nowhere. Didn't need to be in there. I don't think it really knew how to finish the film. It kind of just doesn't end as well as it starts. But it's still a phenomenal film. Like Adrian Brody's still amazing in it. That first half alone is enough for me to say it deserves all the Oscars it should win.
Fair enough.
This should win Best Film. like by far. Like, I'm sorry, but anything else shouldn't.
It'll
It doesn't
be
even touch
Amelia
it.
Perez.
Stop it.
So it's recommended.
Recommended, but the weird thing is, I would go to cinema to see this if you can.
No, not happening, mate.
I know it's not happening with you, but I'm talking to our audience.
They don't
because
go to cinema.
I think you want to be focused on this film. You don't want to be anywhere
phone
where
pinging all
where
the
your
time.
phone's going, or you've got kids,
Yeah.
or your partner coming in disturbing you, or just like anything.
Is it a film that's
Focus-
visually enhanced by being on the big screen, or is it a film that you just should a little bit like Oppenheimer didn't make too much of a difference being on a cinema
I
screen?
felt like that with
Yeah.
Oppenheimer. I could have watched Oppenheimer at home and still got the same experience.
I think it's just the score really as well.
Right.
With those big cinema speakers, and yes, it does have some really gorgeous visuals and cinematography, especially like some of the architecture that it brings up. But I just think that it's one that you would just sit and you would give it your full attention if you're in the cinema.
Right. Okay.
Which-
Fair enough.
I don't think you would do at home. But
Okay.
you'll still enjoy it at home. But I just think give it your full attention is what it deserves. Yeah, for me, it's best film I've seen this year.
Kenny.
Gadget finishes off.
Okay.
Good.
Well, I finished Resident Evil 4. And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Masterpiece.
Yes. Brilliant game. Absolutely fucking
is.
crackers. Absolutely
It's
mental
stupid.
game.
It's stupid, but in the best way.
Yeah, that last kind of climb up the hill towards the sanctum towards the end
So
was just
funny.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
Just walking up and it's just like waves of enemies coming down the hill.
You're
at you.
destroying an army.
You are. And then, like, right before you get the final boss scene, there's conveniently in the middle of somewhere that you wouldn't expect it, Luis's lab, where you can then cure yourselves of the Las Plagas and carry on with
that's
life.
the same as the original, but it's still fun.
No, I know that. I got a fucking howling laugh kind of in that kind of once you beat the Saddler, the last boss, of just how Ada gets back into a helicopter. And like I said,
She does it.
Yeah, she does it in the most like kind of porn star way possible. It's fucking hilarious. Like,
All
She
she does
twerk her
in that
way in.
game is show Leon her ass.
yeah, it's fucking
Hey,
hysterical.
flyboy. It's like,
Um,
stop fucking being a bugger to him.
I also like I noted like throughout the game, like they've been better about not having Ashley flirt with Leon throughout the game, like compared to what the original one. Until the very end of the cutscene, the very ending cutscene, where it's like maybe I should come work for the special services. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck off, Ashley.
No, banging game, absolutely banging remake. Really enjoyed that.
Have you played Separate Ways yet?
No, I'm giving it a break because I'm starting Dead Space because I'm capturing. This is all footage for a video, so I'm working through Dead
It's
Space.
always
on PC.
bloody working.
I'm always bloody working. But you know what I did on Friday? I wasn't working. I went to a gig. I went to see people play music live.
Yeah?
I went down to that there Stockton near Middlesbrough. Depressing
No
place.
one knows what that is.
And I went to see Bowling for Soup. And they were really good. Just some fantastic pop punk. They were
I've heard that sentence before.
No, I love pop punk. It's a great genre of
That's
music.
fine.
They were doing one of those tours where they tour an entire album because it was like the 20th anniversary of their their biggest breakout hit album. It's called A Hangover You Don't Deserve.
I gotta feel it.
No, you deserve that hangover.
You deserve more.
But it just makes me feel older. That album's 21 years old now. Because that's the album with 1985 on, which is talking about a woman having a midlife crisis that it's no longer 20 years previous to that. I'm thinking 1985 was 40 years ago.
Oh, God, stop it.
I wouldn't know. I was never alive then.
Well, I wasn't alive
Same
then, but
path,
I was a year out. I was nearly there.
I was there, man.
You were working.
Yeah.
Good job then.
But no, it was just a really fun set, and because they were playing, they did something like, because I've seen a few shows where bands have been like playing an album back to front, and after a while it does get a bit boring. And they did a really fun thing, which I just really liked, where they got like halfway through the album, and it says, right, we know this is an album show and we're playing all the 18 tracks off the album, but to give you a break, we've got a little Wheel of Fortune thing here. Someone's going to come up, spin that, and we'll play a song that's not on the album, and he'll give you an intermission in this. And then they played like one of their big singles, which came up on that, and I really enjoyed that. I thought it was great. And they were like,
Did you go on your own?
no, I went with Pip. Pip loves them as well. Funnily enough,
Oh, did you?
Bowling for Soup were the first band Pip saw 20 years ago on that album tour.
Aw.
All right.
So it
Have
kept
they
I
aged
did-
well? Do they look like old rock stars now?
the lead singer's gotten really fat.
Well, it
Yeah,
happens,
he's-
doesn't it?
The
That
fat one in the
happens.
group isn't the fat one anymore, is he?
He's not even in the group anymore.
Oh, is he not?
No, he had a medical.
player, wasn't
No, the guitarist.
he? Guitarist.
He had a medical emergency last year, right before they were due to play Download.
Oh, bless
Um,
him.
Basically,
So
what
they-
happened was nodules are coming out of his hands. Like, jeez.
So they played Download as like a three piece, and before they embarked on this tour, like Chris is his name, he basically announced he was retiring, so he's just not well enough to tour.
Oh,
but-
poor sausage. I liked him.
But I really like
Poor
that they
sausage.
are playing as a three piece because they still sound just as good. But they're basically acknowledging it's like Chris was such a big part of the band, we don't want to have a touring guitarist and we don't want to replace him or anything like that.
Oh, someone's got two guitars in his hand.
No, just the singer plays it on one guitar. He's just got a big enough sound.
I was going to say it's easier to do easier to do pop punk, I think, with just one
It's
guitar.
5
isn't
riffs, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's five riffs, and it's also like the verses tend to be just the bass playing as well and stuff like that. So, no, they were really fun live, and I would really, if you get an opportunity to see them, they're playing Wembley later this year. They're doing like a headline show at Wembley.
How much does a gig at Stockton for a 20-year-old pop punk band cost?
20 quid each.
That's decent. That's,
good.
really
Oh,
good.
It's really decent, and it's a nice venue.
That's
like
good.
it's a like,
Are they considered big in the game as well? Because like I said,
yeah, like they've been
would
like,
they be on like best pop punk album
yeah,
compilation?
yeah,
and
feel all the
Show
bad
up.
guys
show
will
up.
be on
They'd
that.
show up. Okay.
And like they were a big feature on like the Warp Tour back in the early 2000s and stuff.
There
like
you
that.
go. Big checkered Vans shoes on and stuff.
Yeah, so like they are still a big band.
Okay.
So they were really good.
It's mint. It won't be
looks
20
like-
quid at Wembley.
It looked like quite a small venue you were at, though.
No, it was an academy size venue.
Oh, okay.
So like there was a couple of thousand people there. It was great fun.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I've been seeing him
Did
pop up on my social medias like the last few years, like last year or so, because they've come back and done this tour. I've just seen some clips from their shows, and it just seems like a really fun time and a funny guy.
It's
like you're saying,
he banters really well with the crowd as well. Because like I see so many bands where like everything is like quantized and they've got the clicks in their ears and stuff like that, and like everything is rehearsed down to the second. At one point, Jarrett, the singer, he starts a song and he just kind of fucks it up and he just starts laughing. And he's just then he's going, "Sorry guys, this happens to me all the time. I'm really shit at this," and going back and forth and all that kind of thing. And it's just like he's a really funny
Oh,
guy.
is he
on stage.
American?
They're from Texas.
oh, they're all American for that genre, aren't they? Yeah, he said in one that clip I saw, he said when we released this album, we were told by the record company that all the good songs had to be at the start. So we understand that by the time we get through about half of this album, most of you won't recognize the rest of the album because it's shit. So after that, don't worry, we're playing our hits after. So stick around.
Yeah, he was because 1985 was the big single off that album, and that's the third song on the album. So like he starts off saying, "So we're playing this album back front to back in the order that it came out. You will never hear 1985 this early in our set again." Because it's always that's always one of the encore songs for them. So yeah, no, they were really good. The main thing I want to talk about is I've been playing a game now that I've finished Resident Evil 4. I've been playing Citizen Sleeper 2, which came out at the end of January.
Next.
We can
Let him
enjoy things that
speak.
you don't enjoy.
He's allowed to enjoy it. I just tuned out of it all.
Stignos. Go on, mate. Tell us what you love about it.
So Citizen Sleeper 2 is a dice-based RPG game that is the follow-up to a game I really like that came out in 2023. It plays very much like a kind of visual novel, but with these kind of dice-based kind of time mechanics where you have to basically roll dice to get through certain challenges. A lot of people, and especially Stig and Oodles, criticised the first one because it didn't feel like it was much of a game. It was a lot of reading, and you basically go into things where it says you need to do this thing. You just drop some dice into it, you pass or fail, and then you go off and end the day and come back with more dice.
I have no problem with it being against a visual novel. I've played games where you've just pressed one button and then something
I
happens.
love visual novels.
I played.
I love them.
Yeah, and I've played games where there's a
I just
lot
like
more voice
shittins.
acting and music and talking in them, but like, I feel so out of step with it. Like, I'm playing it. I'm like, I'm so bored, but I love that you.
I
love
remember
it.
when it came
Like,
out
and
and we
you've
were
got a
chatting about it. Me and you,
sequel.
Stig, privately, were like, "What are we not getting?"
Yeah,
We thought we were broken.
Well,
like I feel like we're completely out of step with everyone else because everyone else seems
Yeah.
to love it, and I'm like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just I can't see it, but that's just me.
well,
It's nothing to do with the visual novel.
Okay.
I just didn't like the mechanics of the game.
I like visual novels.
well then, I mean,
I love Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay, fair enough. Well, if you didn't like the first one, you're not going to like this one, but it basically expands on it. You play a sleeper, a different sleeper from the first game. So you in this universe, sleepers are artificial beings who have the consciousness of a living person who has since died, implanted into them as a kind of form of slavery. Effectively, it's digital slavery. They have a consciousness put into this mechanical body, and they have to work off the debt, but they'll never pay off the debt. Unlike in the first game, this sleeper has escaped. But you've had your memory wiped, and you are being chased for some reason you do not know by a very uncomfortably creepy man called Lane, who looks like he looks like Oodles. What was the umbrella scientist guy in Resident Evil 5? The one with the he talks with a Brooklyn accent like that, but a really bad one. It was a Boston
He
accent.
worked for he worked for the rival company, didn't he? I can't remember his fucking name.
Tricell guy, but yeah, basically looks like him. He's wearing a white suit and all that. He's a fucking greasy guy.
Sorry, I'm eating crackers, listeners. Sorry.
Oh, stop eating on the fucking podcast! I'm
I'm
gonna edit that, you
muted.
twat.
Then you asked me a question.
Use a mute button.
But he
I
just mutes
will.
Discord. He doesn't mute the fucking recording. So I've got to hear because he's
Shut
like
up.
the fucking Cookie Monster.
It does sound like crackers as well, doesn't it? It sounds all dry.
Anyway, the so what they've done with what the developers have done with this game is they've taken that core of what made Citizen Sleeper so good, which was you were exploring the space station called the Eye, and they've just expanded it out. So in this one, you have a whole kind of asteroid belt to explore. You have multiple stations you can fly back and forth to at will. You have your ship called the Rig. You build up a crew of kind of various misfits and characters that you meet along the way. This story, you are basically constantly on the run from Lane, but then you also have to make money and you have to do repairs and you have to basically keep yourself going in this world. So you take on contracts, and these contracts might be mining an ice asteroid or researching an ice asteroid for a company to basically chip out the ice and provide water to one of the stations. And then you go into that, and in that contract, you have like 5 cycles to do it. So 5 days to kind of do all the various tasks associated with it. But then there is this new stress mechanic in it where, you know, the more stressed you get, the more likely you are to quote die. If you die, because you're mechanical, you get brought back, but one of your dice is permanently glitched. So you always have this kind of debuff to yourself for the rest of the game. So you have to be very careful about managing how you interact with things and kind of the amount of failures that you take and what you can and can't accept. There's been a few
No
contracts-
ideas for Scorched sheep, you.
I know. There's been a few contracts I've just had to abandon because I couldn't. I've already kind of died once, so I've got one glitched dice. I couldn't afford the stress. I couldn't afford to have that stress hit the top. When you're on station, you need to be doing jobs to make money so that you can eat to get your energy up because you can starve, and if you starve, your stress goes up faster. And all this kind of thing. And I know the way I'm describing it doesn't make it sound fun.
Don't sound fun.
There
No.
are elements of it not being fun, but that also being the point. You are
Sometimes in games, it doesn't have to be. I get that. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be fun.
you are surviving in this world, this cold, oppressive world that you have to stay ahead of someone who's chasing you. So it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be pleasant. But it fucking nails it. The writing is so good. The music is so good. It's this beautiful synthetic sci-fi soundtrack that just kind of tickles all those little bits of the back of my brain. they've added more of an ability to build your skills. So in the first game, you could pick between 3 different kinds of operators, and that was it. In this one, you can level up and you can make a build and have buffs and debuffs to your dice and stuff like that. It's what I loved about the first.
You know what I've realised, mate? This is your Football Manager.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I loved the first game, and this is just more and expanded.
So would you want one every year?
I'm fine with one every couple of years. Like, just fucking let them cook.
Yeah.
I don't want them to rush them out, but I genuinely adore this game. Just like I adored the first game, but it's just wonderful. And like I say, with the fact that now you're not stuck on one station, you get to go to these fucking massive solar arrays. You go to asteroids. You go to space stations that are made from hundreds of ships clutched together that have just kind of like been abandoned, and they make a space station out of it all. It's like, it's so wonderfully imaginative sci-fi. It's genuinely a wonderful game for me. I really love it.
Yeah, because it's not like Candy's not going to buy it, Stig's not going to buy it, I'm not going to buy it, but there's a sect of you guys that are going to be like, this is what I want right now.
Yeah.
And some games like that are a beautiful, like, aperitif to a different game that you've been playing. You've been shooting zombies in fucking head for the past 3 weeks, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you want to step down a little bit and just absorb it. I get it, but like Stig says, I was saying, I just couldn't grasp it. Maybe I'm just dumb.
Actually, what I've been using it as is because even though there is kind of tension to it and it can be quite stressful to play the game, when I've been recording Resident Evil, or like I recently had to capture some more footage for Nine Souls, like I find.
Have you been winding down on it?
Yeah.
It's wild, isn't it, when you do that?
It's good, like, because I'll finish what I'm playing and then I'll just play an hour of Citizen Sleeper 2. Like, I'm in no rush to finish the game. I do not want to blast through this, because I blasted through the original in about 2 days. I want to absorb every little bit of this game. And I
reckon if you were a game developer, you'd make a game like this.
Absolutely, yeah. Because it's effectively a book. Because it's more. When I reviewed the original one, I compared it.
It's a choose-your-own-adventure book.
Kind of. I compared it originally to Disco Elysium, which I don't think was necessarily fair to either game. But I compared it in the way that you spend a lot of time just reading text, and it's written in a very flowery, very literary way, as opposed to a lot of game text, which is just imparting information at you. This one, you could take a path through the story of this and just release it as a book, and I will be happy. You know, it's like, I really enjoy this world. It's got that very much that kind of Alien franchise kind of late stage capitalism thing that you have to deal with.
Like nowadays.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it's like big corporations in space kind of thing. Like, you very much you're a digital roughneck, you know, and you have to deal with the machinations of these huge companies who don't give a fuck.
That's going to get you ready for Mickey 13, however it's called.
Mickey 17, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to get you ready for that, innit? You're just ready.
You know me so well. I genuinely do love this kind of sci-fi, this kind of
I know you do.
Vaguely socialist.
Blade Runner's running through your veins, mate.
Yeah, this vaguely socialist, dirty, horrible sci-fi, the grimy sci-fi, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want fancy, shiny ships. I want people surviving in space.
You don't want Star Wars. You want fucking rust sci-fi.
Yeah.
Rusty sci-fi. And blech.
Actually, weird enough.
Like on a space station where you could get, like, tetanus.
Yeah. I don't want Star Trek, I want Red Dwarf, you know?
Speaking of Mickey 7, just let's talk about those kind of books. His new book is out at the end of this month.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, shit, son.
Get a pre-order.
Right, so that sounds like the most pretentious episode we've ever done. Because I did a Japanese role-playing RPG that's not for everyone. Stig watched a film that's not for everyone. Candy watched fucking Newtopia, which is not for everyone.
Not sure it's for anyone.
Games that's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But what have our listeners been up to? Because it's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks. They've done things. First of all, we're going to start with a certain what's that? Andrew Smalley.
Never heard of him. Smalley.
Oh
yeah, Smalley. He used to be on this show.
He used to be. So he's written in with the stuff because he's on the sick. Paradise is an American
Disgusting.
political... He's had no introduction. He's had no hi or anything to the
Hi,
listeners.
guys.
So he's just started. Paradise is an American political thriller television series created by Dan Fogelman and starring Sterling K. Brown, Julianne Nicholson, and James Marsden. The series follows United States Secret Service agent Xavier Collins as he seeks to discover the truth behind the killing of the President of the United States. He was the last person to see the President alive.
Oh, dear.
Fogelman was behind the drama TV series This Is Us and has brought Sterling over from that. His performance alone lifts the show above its somewhat simplistic plot. The show only works if you can suspend your disbelief with a big twist revealed at the end of the first episode. No need to spoil it here. Even Marsden is great as his role as the president. Who's making James Marsden the fucking president?
Not me.
I would.
He's barely excited.
Certainly make a better option than the current
but,
one.
That's a different wood. There are a lot of time jumps, revealing character and plot devices, but I'm enjoying it. New episodes released weekly. This feels like Biggie's put out a press release.
You know what? I know, like, earlier, Candy said I were making dad noises. Biggie just watches and plays dad things.
Well, he goes then on to say, the second part of his feedback,
Oh, God. Is it a dad thing?
The Killer's Game is a 2024 American action thriller directed by J.J. Perry and written by Rand Ravitch and
I
James
bet
Coy,
he reads Andy McNabb.
based on the 1997 novel of the same name by J. Bonansinga. The film stars
Nailed
Dave
it.
Bautista, Sophia Boutella, Terry Crews, Scott Adkins, Pom Clementif, and
Jesus
Ben Kingsley. That's a dad cast.
That's a dad cast.
Although I do like Pom Clementif. She's fun.
It's like that time when he said Biggie rocks his playlist and it was just dad's rock, wasn't it?
It was Oasis.
I love that man. I love him so much.
Okay. This is a fucking depressing start for a plot concept. Diagnosed with a terminal illness, top hitman Joe Flood decides to take matters
No
into
way
his
it's
own
called Joe
hands
Flood.
and take
Joseph Flood.
Wait, Oodles, you gotta love it. Top hitman Joe Flood decides to take matters into his own hands and take a hit out on himself.
Easy. Bang.
However, when the very many hires also target his ex-girlfriend, he must fend off an army of assassins to win back the love of his life before
Fuck
it's
me,
too
Biggie.
late.
Honest to God, mate. Honest to God. I prefer the pretentious us rather than dad us.
This does feel like the kind of film you would get your dad on DVD for Father's Day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Batista is almost phoning this in, playing an almost invincible hitman. With comical, stereotypical assassins, he takes most out with ease. Serious romantic drama feels out of place, great action scenes as to be expected, and features a wasted Terry Crews, given very little to do in the film as a real tragedy. That's just like him in
He's never been
Expendables.
good. He's never been good. He's good in comedies.
I'm surprised Ben Kingsley's aren't lit up with dollar signs as this is a payday role for him. I assume he says meant to put eyes in that sentence.
Yeah.
Give your brain a rest and switch off for an action film that thinks it's way cooler really is. I don't think I will, Biggie. I think I'll watch a good
No.
action film if I want an action
No,
film.
I'm not doing it. There's that much out. I ain't wasting my time on that.
Fucking Joe Flood.
I can't wait to see the further adventures of Joe Flood. That's the
Joseph
podcast name.
Flood.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that man. Dad.
Next up, a man with a collection of Oodles bodily fluid samples for reasons only known to him. It's Bobby Wayne.
He wants more children.
Even Escapist, last couple of weeks I've been watching 11/22/63, a time travel series released on Apple TV in 2016. Based on the
Told him about this.
Yeah, based on the Stephen King novel of the same name, the series is James Franco played Jake Epping, a high school teacher.
It was cancelled.
Don't put James Franco in a high school. He plays
Not
Jake
anymore.
Epping, a high school teacher who finds himself embroiled in a plot to time travel to 1963 via a magical portal in the storeroom of his local diner to stop the assassination of JFK. This was after the cocaine for Stephen King, right?
No.
Yeah. It's very recent.
Oh, it's newish, isn't it? It's newish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just leaving that out there. There's some interesting rules around this time travel. No matter how long he spends in the past, only 2 minutes will pass in the present when he returns. And he can only time travel to the same point in 1960 when he travels back. So if he makes any changes and returns to the past, all his previous changes will be reset. As you can tell from the title, traveling to 1960 is a few years shy of 63, so he has to live undercover for 3 whole years to prevent the assassination, collecting the evidence he needs to prove Lee Harvey Oswald is guilty before stopping him. Of course, this leads to plot holes. Why not kill Oswald immediately and return to test the effectiveness instead of waiting 3 whole years instead of stopping him?
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it's an entertaining look back at 1960s America, highlighting the differences in today's world and values. Not all those values being great, i.e. segregation. That's one of the big ones, yep. It's been an enjoyable watch and worth a binge.
I liked it.
I've also started Invincible Season 3. The latest season tackles Invincible's preparation to go to war against the Viltrumites. And heavily...
His dad.
Oh, okay. Just a proper noun that I've never seen before.
It's from the planet Viltrum.
Oh. And heavily tackles the morality of superheroism. Is it okay to kill a villain? Is it okay to recruit former villains to the cause and give them a chance at redemption? Can a small group hold power over the masses, even if it's for their own good? As usual, the animation is great, the voice acting is top-notch, and the story is as involving as ever. I'm only a few episodes in, looking forward to seeing more of J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man and Seth Rogen as Alan the Alien.
Omni-Man's great.
Invincible's brilliant. I'm waiting for it all to come out for a start.
Yeah, I ain't touching it until it's done, until it's ready.
I haven't seen
I loved
any of
season
it.
2. Oh, it's great. It's really good.
I've just seen the memes where it's like, "Hey, Dad, when do I do this thing?" That's the great thing. You don't, you know.
Yeah, Omni-Man's a great villain.
He's
really
Homelander
good.
with grey hair, isn't he?
Sexier. It's like appealing to Candy's.
No, it's not. That's too. That's balls.
It's not like Homelander
to its proper base levels. He's got the same kind of powers as Homelander, but
the way you think of
his
Omni-Man
character's
is,
nothing
imagine
like
if Superman was sent to Earth to destroy it,
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
but fell in love.
but fell in love.
So Mike Holster said, less eventful 2 weeks this time around. In no particular order, me and Beck have restarted The Rookie to get ready for season 7. In between that, we have odd episodes of Criminal Minds. He likes it.
Is that still fucking going?
Oh yeah. Criminal Minds will be going to the end of time.
It's like my wife said the other week. She's like, "Oh, I missed an episode of Grey's Anatomy." I'm like, "Is that still fucking
We'll be
going?"
thousands of years in the future, and there'll still be series of Criminal Minds and Grey's Anatomy going on.
I can't watch that shit. It's dull.
And Law and Order SVU and Ice Cube will still be in it. He'll be a head in a jar, but he'll still be fucking in it.
It's iced tea in it.
Ice Tea, sorry.
Yeah, it's iced tea.
The joke still stands. There's been quite a bit of footy on TV, and of course the Royal Rumble, which if he shows up this week, I'm sure Stig will have spoken about it. You didn't?
Nah, it was good.
He only talks about wrestling when Biggie's here.
Yeah, just to annoy Biggie. Nah, the first
Yeah,
half was
boy.
good. The men's rumble was really, really good, and the ladder match was fucking insane. Like, just them two stuff they did to each other is just ridiculous. for entertainment, for our entertainment, you smash your backs and necks up for us, lads.
I hear the ladies one was worth watching just for the ladies themselves.
Always.
Yeah, but this one was fine.
But Stig doesn't
when it was
objectify
shit.
women like you, Gadget.
I know it's one of my core personality defects.
I know, man.
I'm just
Trust
like,
me.
I'm just all over women. It's just really horrible. Candy can't
They
be in the
call him
same
the
room as me.
groper
It
of
got really
Newcastle.
awkward when she was tattooing me.
I know. Far too much contact.
Yeah, no. He goes on to say, I picked up Cyberpunk for £15 and I've just started it.
My man.
As someone who doesn't favour first-person games, it's going to take some getting used to. But given the praise on here, I'm willing to stick with it, and hopefully it will join Fallout and Skyrim in my exception list. It will.
It's better.
Yeah.
It's better. It's better.
Jackie's the best character in that game.
Oh,
isn't
our
he?
boy Jackie.
Right to
Don't.
the end. To the very end of the game.
Don't.
Wonderful character.
Yeah. He's your best mate for all the game.
I carried on with the Lord of the Rings audiobook series, and I'm now on Return of the King. And just for Gadget, wait, that's me. I'm now 3 minifigs away from completing the D&D Lego set after getting the Red Wizard this weekend.
Nice.
I haven't bought any of them.
If you two lived closer, though, you'd be best pals.
Probably will be, yeah. And he's given us a question for the Green Room, which I'll ask in the Green Room.
Nice.
Zenos has said, it's going to get weird getting used to a 2-week interval for these. Might have to actually start writing shit down. Since the last episode, I've watched the second and third Sonic the Hedgehog films. Genuinely quite impressed. They do feel like a step up from the first one. We all know how sequels have a tendency to fall off. The only bit I didn't appreciate from them was the Russian section in the second film. Really not sure what's going on with that, other than giving time for Tails to show off his assorted gadgetry. Jim Carrey continues to be an absolutely outstanding Dr. Eggman, It's great watching him take on more traits of the classic Eggman look as the film goes on until he's finally in the full get-up in the third one. None of them have managed to get me to cry watching them, but that moment in the third film, you should know which one, I mean, if you've watched it, genuinely shocked me. Really thought they were going to go through with it for a second there, so also happy they brought Live and Learn in for the finale. We knew they had to do it, and they absolutely nailed it. We knew they had to do it, they knew they had to do it, and they absolutely nailed it. All right then. And last up, we got Bling Boy Angry Kurt. Quite a few things to update us on.
Should have been Bing Boy, that really, shouldn't it? Because he likes it.
Bing
He does
boy.
take a bit of Bing, doesn't he? First off, I watched The Host. Biggie mentioned this last episode when I brought up Snowpiercer, and unfortunately I wasn't as into it as him. By no
I
means
like The
bad.
Host.
I just thought it was a pretty average monster film. I was expecting it to do something different for the genre, but it never really did.
Watch Godzilla -1, mate. That's all you need.
I also watched my first ever Austin Powers film with International Man of Mystery. I didn't think I would enjoy it as I'm not
baby.
normally into crude humour, but surprisingly I did.
The first one is fucking funny.
It is. Then they kind of go off a
It's
cliff
diminishing
afterwards.
returns. It's diminishing
There's
returns.
great moments in the second one. Third one, don't bother.
Do we shag now or shag later? Ugh.
Did I make you horny?
Oh, I don't like it that much. People love Austin Powers. I'm not that into it. I prefer Wayne's World.
Completely
Just do.
different style, though.
Yeah.
I know, but same guy.
I think probably because it was over-referenced, wasn't it? Austin Powers.
When we had prom at school, we didn't call it prom, but they call it prom now. It was end of school dance. There were about 5 lads dressed as Austin Powers, like, original. And I was dressed as the Crow, obviously.
Yeah, there's some very good visual gags, good gags in Austin Powers.
Yeah.
I like the Mustafa ones. Oh, my leg! It smells like almonds.
I still just like you get like when the henchmen die and it's like the phone call to their family.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
that is
fucking
funny.
howling throughout
Yeah,
all
the-
that.
thinking about it, there are some good like cutaway bits on those.
The steamroller
It's like-
bit. Get out
Yes.
the way, I'm going to floor it. And he's miles away, but it's like, stop.
Or the rocket that's like a penis shape. A massive dick.
Johnson!
Dick. Someone's on the phone.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And also Liz Hurley in that outfit.
I seriously couldn't imagine watching Austin Powers ever again for the rest of my
Oh
life.
no,
I just couldn't.
I'm fine not to. I'm just
just
happy with the
couldn't.
memory of it.
Yeah.
Actually, though, considering like Austin Powers is such a philanderer, there is a really good bit towards the end of the film where Liz Hurley's character is like really drunk and just trying it on, and he does say, "No, it wouldn't be right." I'm like,
Yeah.
the dude's a feminist. He will go through women like a rat out of an aqueduct with consent.
Yeah.
James Bond doesn't need consent.
Carrying on. Reading wise, I started The Two Towers. To be honest, I thought the opening couple of chapters were a right boring slog up until you meet the rise of Rohan. Yes, everyone thinks that.
Yeah, because it's just Legolas, Aragorn, and Gimli running.
Just running over fields. I've just read the chapter with talking trees, and now on chapter 5. I'm splitting it up with the first.
They're not trees, you dickhead.
Ents.
They're ents.
Well, they are.
I mean, technically, they're talking trees.
tree.
But my name is Treebeard.
Oh, but that's
And
the
I
family
look
name.
like a
Not his
tree.
fault.
He's from the All Thank Treebeards. I'm splitting it up with the first Clarkson's Farm book. Stig kindly sent me the second one, which I only realised was the second one when I went to read it last week, so I thought I'd better read the
that book
first
about-
beforehand.
A farm.
So I went and got it from the library, and it's good if you like Clarkson's humour. I've learned a bit more about farming, which the TV show didn't touch upon.
I didn't realise there were books.
About a farm.
I'd read it. I like a bit of Clarkson.
What's wrong
Shame
with
on me.
people? I don't mind Clarkson either. I think he's nice to hate. I like that he exists.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There's
I like
two
that he
different
exists.
versions of
He
Clarkson.
stirs the pot.
There's the entertainer, and then there's him.
The political side. I don't mind him. He's one of those people that I don't mind that exists, like I said, but I can't imagine reading a book about farming. Come on now. Wow.
Well, it won't be. It'll be more told in his style
Yeah.
of humour, won't it? So
Yeah.
Gaming wise, alongside Cyberpunk, which I'm still enjoying a lot, I started Iconoclast. It's
good
okay,
game. It's
but not
good.
amazing as a Metroidvania. The puzzles are the best part, but the combat isn't particularly satisfying. There's a lot of frustrating moments in the combat.
There are better Metroidvanias to play, but I liked it.
Finally, TV-wise, I started a new Disney Plus show called, for fuck's sake, Paradise. It starts with the assassination of the US president, then becomes a whodunit mixed with
We know what it is. We know what it is.
I
We
want
know
to
what
watch it.
is.
It's been on my playlist, my kind of watch list since I saw it originally advertised. But other shit needs to get watched first.
It's been really good so far, and I highly recommend it to any Silo fans.
That being
Is it
one.
like Silo?
That would be me.
Is it
More
like
on that
Silo?
later.
I think it's possibly
Oh,
maybe the storytelling style. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Pip
I
cancelled
won't be
Disney
watching
Plus
it.
for us, so I haven't seen it. Any of the advertising.
I
for
get
it.
Disney Plus free. I'll give you my code if you want. My login's on
Yeah,
your
it's
watch,
fine.
is it? It's fine. All right. Cool. Is that everyone?
It is.
As always, links to our extracurricular activities are in our show notes, and you can find us on Blue Sky and all that. Join our Discord. Consider becoming a patron, because we're still doing a lot for the patrons. Still doing a lot. Have we just recently recorded X-Men Apocalypse? Did that come out?
It's out. X-Men Apocalypse is out next week.
We're not telling you how we felt about it. You've got
Yeah.
to be a patron to find out.
Next week will be our Patron's Choice, so you can get involved if you want. You all voted for us to do our ranking of Chris Nolan films, so if you want to write in about that and tell us what your... Don't do your top
Give
10.
us yours.
Just give us your top 3, maybe a few thoughts on your favourites.
Don't go on a lot.
Yeah, some feedback. Yeah, we don't need your top 10 and an explanation of each film. Just...
Yeah, my favourite is Inception. Inception is a film about a guy that goes in people's
Yeah,
dreams.
yeah.
I'm like, shut up! We know what it's about. We've
But
seen
yeah,
them all.
because we've putting the vote out there. We're going to try to put the votes out there at the start of the month, so if you pick something you can get involved in, then
You got time.
you've got time to get involved.
Mm.
And you have time.
Yeah, cool. You have time, and time is not what we have. Not much for this podcast anyway, but before anything else, it's the time, again, we all dread. It's Candyland.
And now, what's up in Candyland?
I've done it, guys. I've figured it out.
She's cracked time travel.
I've fixed politics. Right.
No, you haven't.
I have. Listen to this.
Go on.
Kill
So-
it
Let's
all.
go.
A vote.
All right, Guy Fawkes, calm down.
A vote. No, this is better. But if all else fails, Guy Fawkes it. A vote every week. You've got an app. You can vote every
Yep.
week. So if you don't like the laws that have been implemented that week, you can vote them out, like Big Brother style, a little bit. Although you don't. No, more like.
Imagine the absolute chaos if
It would be, yes, it
changed
would be.
leaders
But
and
chaos
votes
is-
and laws every week.
Chaos is what we need.
Is it?
No, you could do that last week, but we voted that you can't do it this week.
Well,
You're
yeah,
just
because
talking anarchy.
it's gonna. Because it will stop political parties making fucking ridiculous laws that everyone hates that doesn't benefit anyone, and then we don't have to wait another 5 years to vote them out weekly. But then also there can be like diary rooms, and there can be there has to be cameras in the rooms where they're deciding the laws, because they can't be like, oh, we'll tell them we'll do this, and what we'll actually do is this, or like, we'll make this a big deal, and that will disguise the fact that we're actually doing this in secret. You would be able to listen in on that.
So she's got a Gestapo already.
Day
This is one step away.
364 in the Houses of Parliament. Keir Starmer has gone to the diary room.
There we go. We've got a
I
narrator.
I want out. That's what he's saying. And nobody likes me. I want out. Get me out of here.
Yeah. What was it said about sausages? Anyway,
Is Davina involved?
it can be if
Yeah.
she's
Don't say fuck or bugger.
yeah, don't say fuck or bugger if she'd like to, yeah, maybe, or Winkleman. She's another good one. I think it would work. I think it would work. It's not like it's not like the
I
party
don't know
would-
what the repercussions on the fucking national budget are.
One step away from the purge. It's one step away from the public voting the purge in this.
Yeah, she's not thinking future. She's thinking now. Fuck them.
I
The
know. I
candidate's
really
got a bit
think
of
I think
bloodlust.
it might work. Or like just a more frequent vote. So we're not stuck with these dreadful things.
Your political systems are similar to ancient Mayan political ones. If they don't like you, they'll kill you.
There you go. There
They'll
you
just
go.
kill you.
Maybe
They'll
that's
kill
the
you.
answer.
I mean, without getting
Maybe.
too into politics, though, after the last 14 years, are you not happy to maybe have 5 years of a bit of stability?
Well, so I bloody thought.
Or attempted.
Well, not what the internet is saying, Gadget. Apparently, it's the worst thing we ever had.
I mean, I did lose my home, But hey,
I don't think that's the
you
government's
should.
fault.
it is.
That's you. That's you, that, mate.
No, that's the government's fault.
That's the crimes you've committed.
Well, we didn't talk about those. Like the grow factory was something else. That was in somebody else's house. That was in my
Yeah, the
storage
next-door
unit.
neighbours.
Anyway, Crime Watch got that wrong.
I do like a revolutionary, Candy. I've always admired your Che Guevaras and people like that. And-
Can Guevara, they'll be calling me. Can
Guevara,
Guevara.
yeah. I can see you there with a beret on.
I've already
and a red
I've ordered the
star.
berry off Amazon.
Yeah, and a sash. I can see it, and I respect it, comrade. I do, but no.
Says you. I'd vote you off.
I wouldn't even.
I
wouldn't
actually-
even apply.
So the funny thing is, one of our other Patreon choices was write a Black Mirror episode, and that sounds like the good
It's a
premise
very
for a
Black Mirror idea.
for a Black Mirror
Right, you can't
episode.
make that. I'm developing that.
Charlie
Get
Brooker
me
is on our
Charlie
Patreon
Booker.
and everything.
Yeah, get me his fucking name. Get me his phone number. Right. On that revolutionary bombshell, it's time to end the show. If you're a patron, the green room's available for you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Don't vote me off. Vote Biggie.
You about to throw up there.
Yep.
Do you want to do a second take?
Nope.
Okay, fair enough.